Wow. Okay, let me just see it. Alright. This is gonna be fun. Oh shit. All good. Alright. Is this mix good? Oh, this mix is not bad. It's okay. Okay, I can make do with this. The fan sound is kind of loud, but maybe it'll be okay. Minimum microphone volume, but then I have to yell. I think halfway through like this should be sufficient. If anything, I can always turn up the volume of the thing later. This should be good. Maybe turn down the volume of the music. Okay. As long as the music is louder than the fan in stream, it's no big deal. Dude, I low-key don't know about this. Where's my Chrome tab? Where's my Chrome tab? Using the Chrome tab? I guess so. I'll probably just take off Alice. Alright, Alice is dead. And this one. Dude, the only reason why I'm feeling like uneasy is because there's so many words. I don't know how long we're gonna be here for. Should I turn on my mouse capture for this? Okay. It only captures if I'm focused on the window, which is fine. Let's, I guess, start this recording. Yay! Alright, so we're gonna start this reading of Blue Archive Story of Joshua Sensei. That should be good. Alright, so we're gonna start this reading of Blue Archive. Wow, who would have guessed? Anyway, Story of Joshua Sensei. Pretty sure this fic's pretty old. Pretty old, but it's okay. That's also pretty long. That's okay. That's okay too. It's okay. The fic, it is an explicit fan fiction. But you know what? I'm sure it can't be that bad. It can't be that bad. Now, just glancing at some of the other stuff we have here, it's okay. It's okay. It'll be great. It'll be great. Description. A man with a troubled past ends up as a teacher in Kivodas. Oh well, it's not the toughest thing he's had to do. A retelling of the story with a different sensei. Okay, so we're basically reliving the main story, but sensei's gonna be a different person. Presumably stronger than the original sensei, because that's how fanfiction tends to go. here we go. Chapter 1. Welcome to Kifodos, Joshua Sensei. We thirst for the 7 whalings. We bear the Koan... is it Koan, right? We bear the Koan of Jericho. Because I usually, in my head, I say Koan, but I'm pretty sure it's Koan. I'm too lazy to verify it. What kind of voice should we give him? I guess I'll just use my normal voice. Well, no, Yuka's gonna be here, and I normally use my normal voice for Yuka. So maybe I'll be a little, like, edgier. I'll be a little edgier. Ooh, edgier. Here. It was all my fault. No, it wasn't. My decisions and everything they caused. Don't blame yourself. I can't do this. Oh my god. It's all me. This is all my problem. I see flashes of a silver-haired girl with a pistol aimed at me. Ooh, Kuroko. No, not at me. At a tablet. One riddled with 3 bullet holes. It had to come to this for me to finally realize that you were right all along. Sorry, I'm laughing because some of the details are too specific. Like, yes, I'm thinking about the CG of Kuroko pointing the gun to the camera, and then the Shittim Chest with 3 holes. Just thinking about the CGs and then seeing them retold in a fanfic. It had to come to this for me to finally realize that you were right all along. My vision blurs as I finally realize my surroundings. Sat in front of me is a girl with long, white hair, clad in an equally white military uniform. She sits in front of a window, the sunset making her hair and uniform have a purple tinge. I can't see her face though. She has a scratch on her cheek, yet I can't see her face. She begins to speak again. So forgive me for being so... Whoa, what is... Hold on, my CPU's having trouble. Oh my god, Chrome is taking up so much memory. No, it's not even taking up that much memory. What is going on? Oh, am I rendering this at 1080p? Oh my god, it's supposed to be at 144p. It's a streaming problem. Because scrolling was so slow too. She begins to speak again. So forgive me for being so bold, but I must ask for your help. No worries, Prez. You know I always help my students. I don't even think this guy's sensei yet. Damn, this guy's on top of it. Wow. Hey, ups to you. Joshua Sensei, you'll forget these words, but it won't matter. Even without your memories, you'll probably make the same decision in the same situation. Probably, you know as well as I do, I don't change much. Therefore, I believe what matters most are the choices we make, not the experiences we have. There are choices only you can make. My memory travels back, seeing flashes of my students. I can't quite remember their group's names. I've spoken of responsibility before. I didn't truly understand it then, but now I do. Adulthood, responsibility, obligation, and the choices you make that extend beyond those ideals. I even understand their implications. Well, that's just a sign of growing up. Nothing wrong with that, Prez. Therefore, Sensei, you're the only one I can trust. Only you can free us from this twisted, distorted fate, and find the choices that will lead us to a new reality. So, Sensei, please. I'll do my best. I'll do my best. What the fuck is wrong with me? Why am I laughing? I'll do my best. Press. Oh. Oof, got through the prologue. Oof, got through the prologue. One sec. Gotta keep it going with this can of sparkling water. Key lime scented. Ain't no flavoring in sparkling water, it's just the scent. Yuka, probably. Or is it Rin? Or probably Rin. Probably Rin. If I may recommend for later, go ahead. I've never voiced Rin before. Well, I've never voiced most of the students before, let's be real. Say. A sharp voice calls out in the darkness. Sensei, wake up. Again with that voice. Who is... Joshua-sensei! The voice shouts as my mind finally becomes clear. My eyes shoot open to see a young woman with long black hair, the inside of it being a dark blue. Her bright blue eyes are hidden behind thin glasses. She wears a white military uniform that covers her thin waist and rather large chest. Oh god, it's this type of fanfic. Oh, what am I getting myself into? No! No! She wears a white military uniform that covers her thin waist and rather large chest. There's a pistol holster to one of her legs, and she has a ring floating above her head that fades from blue to teal and black and has pointed ears? Is she a cosplayer? I stare at her in confusion. I don't remember her, or being in this office. Last I checked, I was in bed. Looking down, I noticed that I'm wearing a white suit with a blue tie. The skin colors are eyes, oddly enough. She sighs. You fell asleep after I asked you to wait here. I even had some trouble waking you up. I didn't expect you to be so sound asleep. That's odd, I say, somewhat to myself. I usually am a pretty light sleeper, always keeping one eye open. This guy's gassed himself up. You must have been having a dream. I thought I said bad dream. You must have been having a dream. Anyway, gather yourself and focus. At least he uses anyway and not anyways. It's one of my pet peeves, but you know, kudos where kudos is due. Anyway, wrong voice. Anyway, gather yourself. Nope, that's Joshua. Anyway, gather yourself and focus. I'll explain the current situation again. I nod, simply, motioning for her to continue. My name is Nanakami Rim. I think it's Nanagami, but probably translation thing. No. Whatever. And I'm a General Student Council officer from Kivodos, the Academy City. Academy City? There's nothing like that on Earth. And Kivodos. There's a village in Greece with that name. Plus the word also translates to Ark. And you're a teacher that we have summoned here. Or so it would seem, she continues. Summoned? I mean, last I checked, Kivodos was a place in Greece and didn't have any such fancy places. I gestured to the room around us. Well, I don't know. Well, pardon my uncertainty, but I only say that because I still don't fully understand how you got here. She takes an apologetic tone. I see. I understand this may be... No. Is that a... Dude. I can't keep consistency with the female voices, because I understand this must be very confusing to you. My apologies. She bows her head slightly. However, I would like you to follow me for now. There's something I require your help with. What could she need my help for? Let's just say that it's a grave matter. One could have to... what is going on? Start the paragraph over. I understand this must be very confusing to you. My apologies. She bows her head slightly. However, I would like you to follow me for now. There's something I require your help with. What could she need my help for? Let's just say that it's a grave matter, one that could determine the very fate of the Academy City. Okay, now I'm worried. Shrugging off my worry, I say, lead the way, Rin. I know her name's set like a Japanese, but I'm an informal American, so I'll just call her by her name. She doesn't say anything about it, though, as we begin to walk through the building. I must be large as we pass large room after large room. What does that mean? I must be large as we pass large room after large room? After a short, silent walk... Oh, it must be large. Sorry. After a short, silent walk, we arrive at a reception desk. Passing it, we enter a massive office. Rin leads me to an observation deck where I get one hell of a sight. I stare out at a massive urban city that seems to have no limit. Definitely not in Greece. Skyscrapers scratch the city. A river flows through the city, dividing it. The average American probably doesn't know that there's a city in Greece named Kivodos. Just throwing it out there. I'm pretty sure people only know that there's a city in Greece named Kivodos because they've looked it up, and that's what it shows on Google. But outside of that, no American knows that there's a city in Greece named Kivodos. No American knows any cities of Greece other than Athens and Cyprus. Wait, Cyprus is an island. I just sounded like an American. See? There you go. What'd I tell you? Yeah, it's a country. Oh my god, I sound so stupid. Athens and... What's the capital of Greece? No, capital of Greece is Athens. I don't know any other cities other than Athens, off the top of my head. I was gonna say Rome. That would have sounded stupid. Oh, Sparta? True. True. When I hear Sparta, I only think of 300, so, yeah. Where am I? Oh, here. No. Here. I stare out at a massive urban city that seems to have no limit. Definitely not in Greece. Skyscrapers scratch at the sky. A river flows through the city, dividing it. Above is a crystal blue sky and... Strange, thin white rings float above the city. They seem to be one with the sky. What the hell are those? Oh well, this isn't the first time I've been in a weird situation before. Though this one definitely tops them all. Rin stands in front of me and gestures her hand to the city. Welcome to Kyoto, Sensei. Kyoto is a massive city. Dude, the word massive has been used 3 times. I know this is just a normal adjective, but... 1, yes, this was written before the funny, but 2, I feel like we need to have some adjective variation here, dude. I've seen the word massive like here, 1, 2, 3 in like 4 paragraphs. Come on. I'm nitpicking, but what else am I going to say? This is just a prologue. Welcome to Kyoto, Sensei. Kyoto is a massive city, home to thousands of different academies. This is where you'll be working from now on. I never thought I'd see something like this, I say, in breathless awe. It's bound to be very different from the place you call home. You might find it difficult to fit in at first, but something tells me that you will adjust in due time. Well, I've had to adapt to lots of things in my life, so this will be no different. I try to reassure her. She merely smiles. That's good. After all, you were chosen by the General Student Council President. Hey, Nix. President. Prez, that seems familiar somehow. We can leave the rest of the details for later, she continues. Sure, but first, can you tell me what you mean by sent? My thoughts are cut off by the ding of an elevator. We leave the office and return to the reception room, where the elevator is. 4 girls are waiting there. Oh, here we go. Yuko. There you are, acting president. We've been waiting. Get the real president here already. A girl, wearing a black blazer and skirt, covered by a white hoodie, walks in, quietly yelling at Rin. She has a white tactical belt around her hips. Her purple hair is tied in twintails and equally purple eyes. Her hair is held by 2 triangular-shaped black hair clips that don't seem to touch her hair. The hair clips match the color of the circular halo above her head. She also has black boots that come to just above her ankles. She also has 2 black machine guns on her back. She's also a tsundere. She also weighs 100 kilograms. She's also short. She's not that short. Halos, what are these girls? Some kind of gun-toting angels? The purple-haired girl seems to notice me. Huh? Who's that adult with you? He said... I love this word. I love seeing this word in. God damn, he knows everything. I know, right? And he's so resourceful and he adapts so well. He's a male. Male. Why ask something like that? Suzumi or Chinatsu? Or maybe Hasumi. Oh, black hair. Okay, Hasumi. This is gonna be like Rin's voice all over again, man. I've been waiting to see you, Chief Officer, says another girl. This one has long black hair and piercing red eyes. I'm really looking forward to see what Joshua Sensei's description of Hasumi is gonna be of all characters. She wears a black sailor uniform that doesn't do much to hide her rather large chest, with a long skirt that splits to the side, revealing her hips and black garter belt, which holds up her black leggings. On her feet are small business shoes that only really cover the toes, heel, and bottom of the feet. Her shirt also says Justice on it. She has 2 large black wings coming from her back. Her halo is a vibrant crimson ring, with a diamond in the center and 4 additional shapes at either of the cardinal directions. She also has a black sniper rifle with gold trim on her back. Pale hair tied in pigtails. Okay. I'm here to meet with the General Student Council President. The head prefect has terms she would like to discuss, says yet another girl. This one is pale hair, tied in pigtails, somewhat hiding her pointed ears. Another cosplayer. A small black bandana, tied above her forehead, comes from her hair. Sorry, the sparkling one is getting to me. Her golden eyes are hidden behind thick black glasses. She wears a white button shirt and a black skirt, as well as bright red leggings. Her black boots, complete with red soles and laces, come to the middle of her shin. She carries a rather large bag with her and has a red and black circular band tied around her left arm. Her halo is a red ring. 4 diamond shapes pierce it at either cardinal direction. She also has an old school German pistol painted black. She also has an old school German pistol painted black and red strapped to her bag. Well, this timing is rather inconvenient, Rin says, her eyes looking off to the side. Unable to beat the 3 girls' gazes. Where's Suzumi? Wonder what's up. Rin smiles sweetly. Oh, she's just with Hasumi. But I can tell she's really annoyed. Hello, guests that represent neighboring academy student councils, disciplinary boards, and those who otherwise have too much time on their hands. Now, that's a thinly veiled insult. Wow, what is with my inflections? No, that's a thinly veiled insult. Weird. Usually I don't see those. It's mostly direct insults. Okay. Okay, hold on. This American does what came out of this without the name of a gun. You gotta calm down, dude. You gotta calm down. Rin smiles sweetly, but I can tell she's really annoyed. Nope, I already read that. I am well aware why you irksome. Oh, I am well aware why you irksome. I suppress a chuckle. I mean, important representatives have come here today. You're here to blame us for the fuss happening in the Academy City. Isn't that right? Something about that smile of hers really makes me want to avoid pissing her off. That's saying something coming from me. Okay. You say so. If you're well aware, Raph, then do something! The purple-haired girl exclaims, crossing her arms. You represent the General Student Council, after all. Thousands of Academy's districts are in panic. Our Academy's wind generator shut down just a few days ago. Shit, seems things are really serious after all. They can't need me to fix that, do they? I'm not a mechanic. Blonde elf girl. There are also rumors a student under the Federal Corrections Bureau custody has escaped, the blonde elf girl says. Escaped prisoners too? Now that I can handle. Bounty hunting's nothing new to me. Well, this guy could do everything. Well, I can't fault him for knowing everything. If Prez is gonna pick a sensei, she has to pick someone at least somewhat capable. And I don't fault her for picking someone quite, quite capable. You know, that good decision for her. Good decision on her. Quite the peculiar American. Oh, I'm sure he'll be quite peculiar. Let's keep reading. 4th girl. Oh. There's been a sharp increase in the number of thugs, this is just Shinatsu again, attacking our students on their way to the school. Public safety is not being properly enforced, says the 4th girl, finally speaking up. She wears a gray and black long-sleeved uniform and skirt. Her black thigh highs lead down to brown shoes. You know, one sec. I don't know if this is just for the story, but man, who describes characters like this? When you first look at a person, is the first thing you look at not their face? This guy's like jumping straight to their clothing, dude. It's like, yeah, sure. I mean, in terms of storytelling, we want to know what they look like. I am really bad with that. When I write fanfics, I am immune to writing character descriptions. All my characters just look like Anon templates. But it's just because in my case, I feel like personality trumps physical description, especially in written form. But other than that, it's fine. You know, it's fine. Her eyes are also red, framed by her long white hair that has what looks like a wing protruding from the left side of her head, but I think that's just her hair. Facts. When I see Suzumi, if I was to see Suzumi, like, for the first time, not knowing elf girls exist, wind girls exist, demon girls exist, I'd be like, is that hair extension? I get that. Her halo is comprised of 2 magenta rings, held together by 4 lines that pierce through to ends and arrows. She also has a white and black assault rifle. I don't even know where the O came from. I usually start from the bottom up. I recognize people by clothes. Yeah, like, you can recognize people by what they wear, but I feel like the first time you look at someone, I guess what they wear is important, but I don't know. Because when I first look at a character, it's usually their face. But, you know. To each their own. Everyone. No one's perfect at describing people in written fiction. Illegal distribution of tanks, choppers, and other unknown weapons have increased by over 2,000%. He's just like really scribbling. He's really note taking during the prologue, huh? Gotta make sure we're loyal to the canon until it comes to Sensei. This guy's a womanizer for sure. We'll see, because he's a bounty hunter. He's suave. He's nonchalant. He's a chuckler, dude. Like Rin called him irksome, and he's like, she's a real feisty one, ain't she? I'm sorry. Where am I? At this rate, ordinary school life in Kivodos would be a thing of the past, the Black Wing Girl says. Tanks? Choppers? Is this place one big military school? Look. When a fanfiction discusses this female characters' bosoms, chests, because they use the term chest, it's gonna be one of those. And there's a 95% hit rate with that statement. If you see the word chest in a fanfiction, and it refers to the chest we're thinking of, 95% of the time it is going in that direction. The only time it wouldn't be is if it's like satirical, and that's it. Moving on. Couldn't be. These girls are serious, but don't have the eyes of the military. Rin remains silent, listening dutifully to their concerns. Purple-haired girl. And what is the General Student Council President doing during... I hate this. I hate words. I hate reading. And what is the General Student Council President doing during such a sorry state of affairs? I demand to see her right this instant. The purple-haired girl looks really mad now, placing her hands on her hips. A scar across her chest. There you go. Or wounds. Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. That's the only other exception. Okay. Now, you say a scar across their chest. You bring up a good point. A scar across their chest. Notice how this is about the scar. Rather large chest. Moving on. Where's Hasumi? Rather large chest. Again! This is... You know what I'm saying, right? That sentence doesn't seem right. And what is the General Student Council President doing during such a sorry state of affairs? I demand her to see her right this instant. That's a sentence. It's just I don't like these words together because they sound the same. The purple-haired girl looks really mad now, placing her hands on her hips. Rin remains silent for a moment longer before saying, the president's not here at the moment. To be frank, she's gone missing. Missing. That do it. What? The purple-haired girl yells. The blonde girl gasps. So the rumors were true, the wing girl says. Allow me to cut to the chase. The General Student Council has no authority because the top administrator of Sanctum Tower has gone missing. We had been searching for a way to bypass the need for verification of... just skipping the word. We had been searching for a way to bypass the need for verification, all to no avail, until recently, Rin explains. I have a feeling this is what I'm going to be helping with. The winged girl, Hasumi, I guess. You mean you found a way now, Chief Officer? The winged girl asks. Rin nods. That is correct. Sensei here is the answer to our problems. She gestures to me. I knew it. The four girls look at me. In shock and confusion. Fusin. In shock and confusion. This person, the winged girl asks. Hold up. I gotta stop using my voice for Yuka. Dude, if this guy likes Yuka, I'm gonna have a bad time. What's up? One moment, please. Hey there. let's get the show back on the road. First, let me open my blinds so that I can actually see. Resume this recording. Hold up, the purple-haired girl interjects. Who is the sensei you're talking about? What is he doing here in the first place? Your guess is as good as mine, I say, with a shrug. Whoever he is, he doesn't seem to be from Kivaros, the wing guard points out. This is Joshua-sensei. Not only are they going to be teaching in Kivaros, but he's also been personally selected by the General Student Council President. Rin introduces me and... Hang on a sec. Teaching? I ask with wide eyes. I finished high school, but that was a few years ago. Oh, jeez. And I doubt I'm qualified to actually teach anyone. The president chose him, the one who's now missing? The purple-haired girl says, far more confused than ever. Things are making less and less sense. Well, it's nice to meet y'all. I agree awkwardly. Yeah, I'm sure his awkward voice is like this. Well, hello there, I gotta stop, dude. We're not even done with the prologue chapter. Right. It's good to meet you, Sensei. I'm Millennium Science School's... The purple-haired girl begins before she cuts herself off. I mean, why am I even bothering to introduce myself right now? She seems flustered. Never seen an actual tsundere. Oh god. No, that's me! No, that's me, dude! That's my normal voice! I swear, no! 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 I'm going through one of the stages of grief right now, man. I'm in denial. Don't worry about that annoying girl. Let's just move on, Rin says to me, a scaredly sweet smile on her face. Who are you calling annoying? Oh, the purple-haired girl snapped. I'm Hayase Yuka. You should remember that name, Sensei. Definitely a tsundere. She said that with a blush. No! No! I will, Yuka. It's nice to meet you too, I say with a nod, only causing her blush to strengthen. You're here to serve as the advisor for our club that was formed by the GSC president. The Federal Investigation Club, Schale, Rin explains. Schale. My German's really rusty, but isn't that the German name for the club? No. This guy just happens to know German and the city of Kivaros in Greece. The district of Unapishtam, you say? Unapishtam? Haven't I heard that word somewhere? No, you haven't. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. Huh. The three factions of Trinity. Pater. Ooh, I've heard that one. No, you haven't. Okay, I'm putting too much focus into that. I've always been a big mythology buff. I said Kliplov. I probably wrong. Is QLI Klee? Or Chi? Hold on. Clip. H-O-T-H. Oh. Devil May Cry. Oh, interesting. Why is there... Okay. This...
Clyphot.
Clyphot? Clyphoth?
Clyphot.
Clyphot? Is the H to the N silent? Clyphot? Okay, well. Guys, you learn something every day. I've always been a big mythology buff, but still. Angels, the Greek word for ark, and with the Clyphot? This isn't your average club, more like a type of extrajudicial organization. Since it's a federal club, you'll be allowed to register students from any of the academies in Kivaros. Each academy region can perform battle activities without restriction. Battle activities. Looking down, I remember the holstered pistol on Rin's hip. Do these girls carry guns? Do they? Do they? Do they? Do they really? Huh. News to me, honestly. Mono, you better stop. Mono, Mono, I swear, you better, Where are we? Here. Well, that's a relief. I thought I'd be a good math teacher, I joke, noticing the four girls to the side crack a small smile. Hey Pizza! Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you. I joke, noticing the four girls to the side crack a small smile. Did I just read that? Do I have dementia? Rin sighs and shakes her head. How the president was able to create an organization with this much power, I have no idea. The Schale club room is about 30 kilometers from here. The building is currently empty, but we had to put something in the basement at the president's request. I know for damn fact this guy does not know how much 30 kilometers is. I think it's like a 2-to-1 ratio, right? It's like a is it 1.6 to 1? So if I had to guess, it would be like 20 miles? 30 km to a mile. 18.6. I was a little off. It's 1.8. Okay. Well. 300 blocks? Yeah, how many football fields is that, guys? Say, huh? How many football fields is that? The building is currently empty, but we have to put something in the basement at the president's request. The floating rock. That doesn't sound sketchy at all. The president knew something about me being here, and whatever's in that basement has something to do with me. It's my job to take you there, Rin says. She then pulls out her phone and holds it in flat in her hand. In the flat. She then pulls out her phone and holds it flat in her hand. Suddenly, it comes to life as a hologram of another girl appears from the device, causing my eyes to widen in surprise. I use earpieces when I do like calls in my fic. I didn't realize this was like, because like when people show up as holograms, I thought that was just, you know, like showing us because we're playing a visual novel, but I didn't know like that would have helped a lot, because I did use a scene where I did make a hologram appear. I made Akko appear as a hologram in front of Makoto, but it was more like a holographic ball projector thing. That's like old technology, dude. That's like old science fiction. Hovering ball projectors. Man, we almost have that in real life. Momoko, I need a helicopter to take us to the Schale club room. The girl in the hologram is bright pink. The girl in the hologram has bright pink hair, dead and high twin tails and sea green eyes. She has two small horns and pointed ears protruding from her hair. She wears a big white hoodie with gold zippers held up by one of her shoulders. She wears a white sleeveless shirt more akin to a tight tank top that has a collar and a blue tie at the ends of the skirt. She has high-heeled black shoes with a white tongue and white socks. I'm pretty sure color doesn't transmit that well on holograms. So this guy's just lying. Like, if I remember correctly, when we look at holographic students, they should project like blue-ish. I don't think they project like 100% accurate to their actual person, the color of their person, but I could also be entirely incorrect. Oh, what am I gonna do? Fact check myself? No. I'm an internet user. Where am I? She has high-heeled black shoes with a white tongue and white socks. From her skirt is a long black tail that turns into a fishhook and fades to pink. Her halo is made of 6 4-pointed stars, each of which horizontal points connect, and the vertical ones are much longer, causing the whole thing to resemble a crown. I don't need you to describe Momoko's halo to me, man. It's just too complicated. It's just too complicated. Each star is white with a pink outline. She also is holding a bag of chips. She also looks much shorter than most of the other girls. It's just like, there's no good way. Okay, that's not true. I don't know of an effective way to, what's it called? I don't really know of a very effective way to describe people. Besides, she does this, that. If I had to say a more effective way that doesn't sound like a laundry list that I think I have tried, I don't know if I'm doing it right now, but if I had to like imagine something, you would start off with a couple of these sentences, and then you'd probably want her to be doing some sort of action that reveals another part of her clothing. So, like, maybe if you're going to talk about their footwear, maybe they're like one foot's like raised and tapping the floor, or they're shuffling, something like that. But every time I've read one of these descriptions, and this is why I hate doing descriptions, because I know if I do it, it will also sound like a laundry list like this. But one of the reasons why I don't like doing descriptions is because it just sounds like this. She has this. And it's like, as soon as I move to the next paragraph, I've forgotten what she looks like. The only reason why I know what she looks like is because I play the game. Aside from that, I'm going to be like, pink hair, right? What else? Did he say she has horns? I don't think he did. Oh no, yeah, he did. I forgot he said that. It's like most of these details don't really matter right now. And that's the point of the reading, right? I'm supposed to be this critical, right? I'm doing my job correctly. Yes? The girl, Momoka, speaks in a high-pitched yet lazy voice. The Schale club room, that's over in the outskirts. Things are kind of crazy over there right now. She trails off as I hear what sounds like crunching and chewing. Is she eating while on the phone? What do you mean crazy? Bryn asks. A suspended student escaped from the corrections bureau and is wreaking havoc. It's a battlefield over there right now, Momoka explains. Oh. A suspended student escaped from the corrections bureau and is wreaking havoc. It's a battlefield over there right now, Momoka explains, sounding all too concerned. What? What? Bryn says in a low voice, a twitch in her eye. They rallied all the thugs in the area and are destroying everything in their path to get revenge on the General Student Council. I hear they've even got a Crusader tank. Somehow, the thought of angels riding a tank makes me laugh inwardly. Key Ride of the Valkyries. What the hell is that? Sorry, I'm a very uncultured person. Ride of the Valkyries. Oh, it's a German thing, it seems. Richard Wagner. The Ride of the Valkyries refers to the beginning of Act 3 of, I can't pronounce that. Die Walkür. I was probably wrong. The second of the 4 operas. Unless it's like a... It's a musical piece. How? I guess it's imagery thing. It's the dun da da dun da. Okay, well, I'll pull it up real quick. Is there a certain act I should pull up, or just the first act? Richard Wagner, Ride of the Valkyries. Oh my god, it's an ad. Shut up. Oh, this one. Ah. Okay. Hey, you learn something new every day. It took me a while. I just don't know the names of pieces like that. You can hear the violent piano of Unwelcome School in the distance. Oh, I see. Q Ride of the Valkyries. Okay. I thought Ride of the Valkyries was like... I thought he was making a reference to something. Okay, I get it now. I'm a very classically uncultured person. I apologize. Oh, people even spotted that Wakamo girl around down there, she says, causing Rin's eyes to narrow further. Wakamo? Is she someone I should watch out for? Oh god, this guy's gonna... love Wakamo. Wakamo loves him. He's just gonna eat up all of that attention. You know how Sensei in canon, you know, occasionally tries to get Wakamo to curb herself? I feel like what's gonna happen with this Sensei is he'll do that, but in a way so that he rizzes her up while doing it, right? Like, come on, sweetheart. You know you can't be risking your life out there like that. I appreciate that you care for me so dearly, but I gotta stop. I'm being cringe. Prediction, because I have not read this before. This is a quote read. They must be trying to occupy the Schale building because they know the GSC controls it. Maybe they think there's something valuable inside, Momoko guesses. Like whatever you guys put in the basement, I interject. Rin looks at me for a moment. Rin looks at me for a moment, like they're coming to the same conclusion. Oh well, the city's already a dump, so I don't think it'll make that much of a difference, Momoko says, sounding bored. Does she not care about the city she lives in? Oh, great. The food I ordered is here. Talk to you later, she says happily as I hear a click. Guess she hung up. Rin freezes up with an indecipherable yet dark expression on her face. Did she snap? Rin, inhale, count to 4, exhale, I advise her. Her eyes swivel over to me, still pissed, causing me to freeze, before she closes them and takes a deep breath. She exhales slowly a moment later. I'm fine. It's just a minor setback. No problem at all, but thank you for that, Sensei. I nodded, smile at her. Oh. Are they really just flirting in front of the others? Rin's glare returns as she stares at the 4 girls, who have been silent until now. They all freeze up at her glare. What? Why are you staring at us like that? Yuka asks, nervous. It's so reassuring to have you trustworthy Academy representatives with us, Rin says, with a slightly scary tone of voice. I think I see where this is going. Huh? The purple-haired girl asks. We're going to need your help to bring peace back to Kivodas. Let's go, Rin says, brokering no arguments. Wait, what? Where are we going? Yuka asks, as Rin begins to walk away. I look over to the other 3 girls and shrug as we all leave the room. Oh well, this is certainly a bizarre situation, but I'm no stranger to the weird shit. I just hope everything goes well. Hopefully this will be one of the better Blue Kai fanfics. So it's certainly one of the longer ones, one of the probably more infamous ones, but or probably one of the more well-known. I won't say infamous, you know, to each their own. This game's story is only up to volume 4 as of now. Yeah, this is an old fic. I started playing the game, I think, February 2024. So. Comments. I bear the unfortunate cross of having been on Wattpad during its quote-unquote peak around the years of 2017 and prior, because after that, when they started monetizing everything and it turned to shit, Wattpad is really the Gooner fiction website. And it makes sense. I know FFnet exists, but FFnet is so large. And really, if you think Gooner and FF, mostly you're looking at the Loud House revamped. But Wattpad is really like the place for amateur fiction. It's like, not proud of it. Not proud of my time there, but hey. No comments. I only play the game on Pixel. The description of how much skin coverage is provided by Hatsune's shoes does not apply flats, which I consider the winged sniper shoes, partly because she's 5'10". 3 of C and C wear matching equal strap pairs of high-yield equivalent. Good to know. Oh, I didn't realize this was I didn't realize that was like a something. Prefect Team, Gourmet Research Society, Foreclosure Task Force, Club, Blank P, Make Upward Club. I'm stupid. LV Blank R. Blank blank LV blank R. Dude, I'm blinking. Wait, what's a relevant club? No, it can't. It doesn't have to be relevant club. Why is GRS in here? GDD erasure. Yeah, no, we have GRS. We don't need GDD. We have GRS. The superior 3-word club name that starts with a G. I gotta go through the list of clubs. Hold on, give me a sec. Tea Party. Oh man, I got spoiled. Fuck you. Problem solver. Yeah. How did I not get that, man? Okay. GDD wasn't manly enough for his military guy fanfictioning. Hold on, let's look at the chapter names. I like how a lot of these chapters are called downtime. All the, you know. Nope, it's here. Oh, I know you guys can't see the drop down. Let me just go to the full page index. Right here. And the mirror heist, the ruins, railgun, Alice, GDD. So 39 through 49. So it's a 10 chapter. Like it happened, but it was right before enough for him to remember his type breath. Stop, dude. Dude. Alice, you know. Alright. How long have we been here for? Almost 45 minutes. I can spare one more chapter. We can do one more chapter. Right? Yeah. This is until we finish the prologue. Should we do the whole prologue? Is chapter 3 also the prologue? Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I kind of like it kind of feels right to do the whole prologue right now, but then three chapters of this. Chapter 2, to the Schale building. After leaving the room, we reached the helicopter Momoka sent over. Rin stayed behind to advise us as Yuka, the other 3 girls, and I boarded the helicopter. We're gonna land a fair distance away from the Schale building, as there's too much fighting nearby. Wind girl. Sensei, we're going to need you to give us orders when we land, the wind girl asks. Orders? That's fine. It's not the first time I've had to lead a group. I say, calm. Really? The elf girl asks. Yeah, don't you guys worry. It'll be a piece of cake. Before that, though, I figure it's best to know you gals' names and what you can do. You already kind of know it, but my name's Joshua Burton. If need be, I can use a pistol, rifle, or shotgun best, but I've learned to wield those kinds of guns over time. I fully introduced myself. I say y'all like to my friends. Gals, y'all. Is he a country boy? Is he a little country boy from the old Wild Wild West? Grew up in a nice little hometown down in Georgia. Plans to take over the family farm before Prez came over and made me Sensei of Kivotos. I don't know what's become of my life now, but woo-wee! It's real Don Tootin'. Being so stereotypical. So stereotypical. Well, you already know I'm Hayase Yuka. I'm the treasurer for Millennium Student Council seminar. I will twin MGs and can cast a barrier for myself if need be, Yuka says. So, you can be sort of tank. Good to know, I conclude. I'll go next then, the wing girl says. My name is Hanakawa Hasumi, Tatsuko Commander of Trinity's Justice Realization Committee, also known as the Justice Task Force. I wield a sniper rifle, and if needed, it can fire a much stronger shot than normal. 90% of the time it's just gonna hit the cover, so I advise you not to use it. It's 5 costs after all. Now I have close range and long range, I say. My name is Morizuki Sasumi, the silver-haired girl introduces. A member of Vigilante Corps of Trinity. A member of the Vigilante Corps of Trinity. I carry an assault rifle and more than enough stun rates. Wow. I'm sorry, Suzumi. What am I doing to you? My name is Morizuki Suzumi, the silver-haired girl introduces. A member of the Vigilante Corps of Trinity. I carry an assault rifle and more than enough stun grenades, she says, pulling out a bag filled with stun grenades. How many do you have? I ask, curious. Enough, Suzumi says, causing my smirk to grow. Non-lethal option. Non-lethal option. Check. I am Hinomiya Janatsu, a member of Gehenna's disciplinary committee. I wield a handgun and can heal anyone who gets injured, the elf girl introduces. Gehenna? There's an academy named after hell? Then there's Trinity, like the Holy Trinity? Strange. How can you heal Janatsu? I ask, curious. She pulls out a syringe. I have plenty of these. A simple injection will cause the body to heal. Instantly. Instantly, she reiterates. Some kind of magic? One more thing. How resilient are you guys to bullets? I ask. I get you guys a berry and Hasabi's a sniper, so she'll obviously stay back, but none of you are wearing body armor from what I can tell. Very, Yuka says. That's my voice. That's not my voice. Very, Yuka says. The students in Kifodos are incredibly durable. It would take a significant amount of small rounds to even injure us. What I wouldn't give to be bullet resistant. Anything else I need to know? It would be best to avoid shooting one's halo, Sensei, Hasumi says. Why's that, I ask, curious. If one's halo breaks, they die, Suzumi explains. Avoid the halo. Got it, I conclude. But what if you girls get hit by an explosion or something? Our halos are more durable than we are, but they can still be broken, Janatsu explains. Though rare, there have been cases of halos breaking. That's a relief. I was worried they'd be easy to break, I say, with an exhale. Inside joke, inside joke. Sensei, the girl flying the helicopter says. We're nearing the drop point. Good. Ready, you four? I asked, to which they collectively nod. Good old Kivoda, so peaceful, so... Crash! The sounds of explosions and gunfire ring out near the Schale building. The four of us hide behind some rubble as I grip my pistol. A spare 9mm the chopper's pilot gave me. Yuka groans. Why do we have to be the ones to fight them? Rin said defending the club room is paramount. They're to regain control. Oh, it's not even him, it's Janatsu. It's not even Joshua. Rin said defending the club room was paramount that they're to regain control of Sinking Tower, Janatsu explains, hoping to placate Yuka. I get that, but I belong to my school student council. Why is busy work like this falling to me? The treasurer complains. Suddenly, Yuka gets hit in the shoulder with some bullet. Ah, that's smarts. What the heck? Are they using HP rounds? I feel like I've heard this before. That's cheating, she complains, treating the bullets she just hit in the chest as mere bug bites. Also, who says, oh, that's smarts? Does Yuka actually say that's smarts in the game? I'm going to be very disappointed in her if she utters the word that's smarts. And I see it in the text box if I ever play the prologue again. Just stay covered, Yuka, Hasumi says. And besides, hollow points aren't even illegal. Well, they're illegal out of school starting now. That might have left a mark, she continues complaining. Damn, you girls really are bulletproof, I point out, surprised. Hasumi sighs. We need to remember that Sensei is with us. His safety is our top priority. Reclaiming that building will come second. Hasumi is right. Sensei isn't from Kivodos, Janatsu agrees. Unlike us, a single bullet could put Sensei in grave danger. Don't forget that. I know that, Yuka says, as she opens her mouth to continue. I interrupt. Don't worry too much. I've taken a few bullets before. They're like candy to me, I joke. But seriously, I'll hang back and give y'all orders unless need be. Trust me. The fur girl's eyes widen a bit in slight shock and confusion. Oh, what? You're really going to take command? Well, I guess... Where am I? Well, I guess you're supposed to be a teacher. No. Who cares about if he's a teacher? You know why he's supposed to take command? Because why can't I find it? Where does Hasumi says... Sensei, we're gonna need you to give us orders when we land. That's why. This is why. Because Hasumi said he would. It's like Yuka's deaf to Hasumi. Does Millennium have beef with Gehenna in this story? Trinity in this story or something? Anyway. I did ask for what you gals could do on the job, remember? Besides, I know what I'm doing, so don't worry, I say, hoping to reassure the girls. Though Yuka's the only one vocal about it, I can tell the other 3 girls are a bit unsure. It'll be fine, Suzumi finally speaks up. Okay, we'll follow your lead, the wing girl says with a nod. A student must listen to their teacher. We'll be counting on you, Janatsu says. Yuka just hasn't had her morning coffee. Yeah, something's up with her. All those days as treasure, eliciting a nod from me. Okay, let's go, Yuka says, readying herself. Just a thought came to me. What is the chance that one of these downtime chapters is a Hasumi Momotalk retelling, rehashing? Because knowing this story so far, it feels like Hasumi's gonna be. I know Yuka's the one that's like the one that's talking the most because it's Yuka's nature, but just the nature of the story implies that Hasumi Momotalk might be one of the chapters. I'm just saying. Prediction. Just making my predictions. A student must listen to their teacher. I already read that. Yuka, Suzumi, take front, I order. With a nod each, Yuka and Suzumi jump over the rubble and towards the delinquent-looking girls that have been firing at us. Hasumi, take the rear. Janatsu, stick back and keep an eye on her 6. They nod and ready themselves. The purple and silver hair girls take out a few AR wielders, most likely knocking them out. Hasumi hits the last one, knocking her out as a few more appear, some wielding miniguns. Those be trouble. Suzumi, flash him, I yell. Reaching to our bag, she throws a flash grenade at the group, blinding them as the girls knock them out quickly. Let's just imagine Suzumi rummaging in her bag. Ooh, which one will I use today? You know what? I'm feeling this one. Does she have like a black bag, a duffel bag, a trash bag, like a clear trash bag? A mix of AR and minigun users appear from the corner. Yuka, rush him with that barrier. She nods, taking a tablet from her back pocket. After tapping on it quickly, a translucent blue barrier appears around her. She pulls out her second MG and takes him down quickly. Hasumi and Janatsu still taking potshots from a distance. Yeah, I know Janatsu is doing a whole lot in this battle. With her pistol. Suddenly, one of the girls, wielding an AR, jumps out from behind me, flanking us. I quickly pull out my pistol and fire at her hand, causing her to drop her gun. I rush forward and punch her in the gut, followed by a knee just delivered straight to her face, knocking her out. Arrgh, sensei! Rah! It's a risky play, dude. Risky play. Risky play. Man, I feel like a 9mm shot wouldn't really cause someone to drop their weapon that quickly if they're so resistant to bullets. A normal person, yeah, they drop their weapon, clutch their hand like, there's a bullet hole in it, whatever. But for, these girls who are so resistant that it would take, quote-unquote, multiple rounds before they even leave a dent or they even start to injure, I feel like one shot isn't going to make her drop her gun. And rushing forward when she could pick her gun back up and just boom, and you're in the hospital, this guy's brave. This guy's real brave. When no more girls appear and no more footsteps are heard, I say, all clear, girls, before relaxing to group with me. I wasn't expecting you to be so strong, Sensei, Janatsu says. Well, I've been in my fair share of fights, I say, hopefully making them underestimate the sheer number of fights I've been in. But still, that battle was much easier than I expected it to be, Suzumi points out. I know, right? Yuka agrees. Hasumi nods. We were able to fight much more efficiently thanks to Sensei's command. That must be why the GC holds Sensei in such a high regard, Yuka comes to a conclusion. The president must have had her reasons for choosing Sensei. It probably would have just been as easy without me. I just sort out their compliments. Hasumi shakes her head. It's true, we did fight much better thanks to you. I wouldn't mind sharing the battlefield with you again sometime, she says with a smile. I chuckle. Thanks, I suppose. I look around and try to see or hear anyone. Nothing. Well, it seems to be clear for now. Let's move on ahead. They nod as we move onward. We close in on the Schale building. My good hearing has certainly come in handy as we... Another superpower of yours, huh? My good hearing has certainly come in handy as we managed to avoid combat, but there's still going to be a lot of them at our destination. The Schale Club is just ahead of us, Yuka says. Looking ahead, I see it. It's a much larger building than any of the surrounding ones. Probably is still smaller than the GSC's place. Suddenly, Rin's voice calls out from our comms. I think I finally figured who's responsible for this riot. Her name is Kosaka Wakamo. She's the fugitive that escaped the Corrections Bureau and being suspended by the Allied Hyakyako Academy. Wow, I'm just reading way too fast. Hyakyako sounds like the Hyakiyagyo, the parade of 100 demons. Now we're getting Japanese myth too? Damn, this guy knows like everything. He did say he's a fan of mythology, so whatever. She's a repeat offender, so I advise that you don't let your guards down, Rin advises. As she finishes, I hear footsteps. I'm coming. Get ready, girls, I say. Nearby, a girl speaks to herself. Wakamo? Oh, fuck, I hit the space key. Well, the General Student Council didn't bother to show up in person. Not that it matters. I have no idea what's in that building, but if it's important to the General Student Council, I'll just have to destroy it, she says sadistically. I can't wait for what's going to come next. She chuckles to herself. I'm not laughing. I'm not chuckling into the mic. I'm sorry, it's gonna sound so ugly. More girls come toward us as we stick to the same loadout as last time. Fortunately, they're nothing much until Hasumi speaks out. We found the mastermind behind all this commotion. Get ready, she shouts. We found the mastermind behind all this commotion. Get ready, she shouts. Looking ahead, I see who must be Wakamo. She wears a black and red sailor uniform, its long sleeves spreading out like a kimono's, adorned with flower patterns. Around her belly is a red kimono sash, decorated with gold flowers. The kimono itself ends at her thighs. Her right leg has a thigh high decorated in a flower pattern, yet is ripped and torn. Her other leg has a sort of garter around her thigh. She has black boots with high red heels and laces. The left one is accompanied with a short red sock. Her most noteworthy features are the fox ears sprouting from her long black hair, which is red on the inside, similar to Rin's. She also has a black tail coming from her back. Her face is covered by a kitsune mask. Her halo is a red ring with 5 stars coming from it, the lower 2 protruding much farther. In its center is a black 5-petal flower with a red outline and a red star in the center. The first half of this description was honestly one of the better character descriptions we've gotten. And then we came back to the her, she, her, spamming, the she-her abuse. In her hands is a black and red rifle with gold trim. Interestingly, it has a similarly colored bayonet attached to the end. Looks like the little puppies of the General Student Council have come to stop me. How adorable, she says with a teasing sort of voice. She readies herself. Yuka, barrier! The treasurer activates her barrier as Wakamo begins to fire. Her rifle has to be manually cocked on the side, so her rate of fire isn't too fast, thankfully. Suddenly, Wakamo unleashes many shots at once, knocking Yuka back and disabling her barrier. Suzumi, fling to the left, I shout as she moves to the left, Yuka to the right. Wakamo suddenly dashes straight through them towards Hasumi, Chinatsu, and I. She flips her rifle around and uses it like a bat to deflect Hasumi and Chinatsu's shot as she goes straight for me. Sure. Crap, she's going for Sensei, Yuka shouts. The masked girl giggles. Since you can't take a shot like us, I'll give you a chance to surrender. I just ready myself. Oh well. She swipes her bayonet at me horizontally, but I deflected with a pistol. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Remember, Wakamo is a student with the halo, and students with halos are physically stronger than Sensei, and a bayonet is has more mass than a pistol. That bayonet is knocking the pistol out of your hand, and you're getting conked on the head right after. You are not winning this fight. Or am I? Hitting the flat of the blade from underneath, knocking her rifle upwards. I quickly jab her in the neck. She recoils and loosens the grip on her rifle. I follow up quickly with a kick to the stomach, causing her to land on her back and skip back a ways. Now, girls, I shout. She just parried a bullet? Yeah. And the Star Wars lightsaber thing, that was a little more less realistic than him knocking back her bayonet with his pistol. Like, that's like level 2, unbelievable, and then her slicing all the way the bullets like a sword or lightsaber, that's like level 1. What the fuck? Now, girls, I shout as Hasumi sniper round slammed into the fox girl, knocking her back a ways. Again, I hate using the same phrase twice. Like, I have a cooldown of like 4 or 5 different adjectives before I repeat the same one. It's just Suzumi flash him. No, stop. Suzumi flash him. What? Now, girls, I shout as Hasumi sniper round slams at the fox girl, knocking her back a ways. Now, she's stuck with the girls in between me and her. Growling a bit. Grrr. Wakamo flips her rifle out before unleashing a quick salvo of bullets at Yuka. Again, the treasure staggers a bit, but... the hell is that? I ask, worried about the sudden appearance of a spectral 5-petal flower above Yuka's head. Its petals slowly falling off, one by one. I see where me and I shout, Yuka, barrier, now! I don't have the skill cost for this! Oh! Yuka's eyes widen at my shout, but she quickly activates her barrier as the last petal drops. Boom! An explosion rings out at Yuka's location, sending her flying back. Her barrier completely disappeared. Yuka! I shout as she hits the ground with a thud. Wakamo merely giggles behind her mask again before saying, "My job here is done. You can take care of the rest," she says over her shoulder before running off. "Junatsu," I say, looking at the elf girl. "On it," she says, running to Yuka, still on the ground. "You okay?" I ask the down treasurer. She looks fine, save for some scrapes. I'm okay," she says, cringing a bit. "Jeez, that stings." Junatsu then injects Yuka with a syringe, and I watch as the scrapes disappear like magic. "Where's Wakamo?" Yuka asks. "She ran away," Suzumi explains. "She what? We need to go get her!" Yuka shouts, getting to her feet. "No, we can't waste any more time. Our goal is to rekindle the Schale club room," Asumi says, reminding Yuka of our goal. "We must get to that building." Yuka, looking a bit upset, says, "Fine," with a sigh. "I guess it's not our job to go after her." She very well could have laid a trap, though," Shinatsu points out. "Exactly. Our priority is to reclaim the building," the wing girl says. "Alright then," I say, keeping a grip on my pistol. "Still, I didn't know you were that strong, Sensei," Shinatsu says, again. "Yeah, well, I've always been built like a swimmer. I might look a little slim, but I've got tons of muscle," I say, holding up my arm and flexing my bicep, not that they can see it due to the suit. Reiterate what I said about the Halo thing. It's just not true. It's just not true. I mean, I won't say that he's lying about his physical build, but the fact that he's strong enough to parry Wakamo, it's just not true. "You have great reflexes as well," Suzumi points out. "I've been in lots of fights before, up close and long range," I say, finishing the conversation. We walk forwards in silence a bit longer, no one in sight, when we reach the base of the building. It's a lot larger close. "We made it," Yuka says, happily, when suddenly a rumbling sound comes from nearby. Rumble. Huh? What's that sound? The treasurer asks as the sound goes closer and closer. "Nothing good," I add, as the sound source is revealed. A large camouflage tank comes from around the building, blocking our path. "Watch out, it's a Crusader tank," the elf girl warns. Its turret swells toward us. We all hunker down as the shells fire from the tank. "That's a Crusader Type 1, the wing girl points out. "It's the same as the tanks used at our academy." "It must be stolen. Those thugs must have swiped one meant for the PMC, the purple-haired girl says, upset. "That means it's no different from a hunk of scrap metal. I'm going in." I sigh at her forwardness. "Yuka, keep your barrier up as long as you can. Everyone else, take pot shots when possible." Nearby, Wakamo sees them dealing with the tank. "Well, now's a good time as ever to sneak in while they're preoccupied." The implication was that this guy is in the military. Yes, I understand, but I still think the Oh, does he not know what a tank sounds like? I don't know. I feel like maybe in Kivodos, a Crusader tank is meant to be a special type of tank. Maybe the rumbling sound could be anything, you know? It could be anything. Because what can you expect in this city? So I can't fully fault him for not knowing what a tank sounds like, but it's a little peculiar that he knows certain things and doesn't know certain things. It's a 50-50 thing. We say hunker down as Yuka tries to distract the tank. "How can we... Oh, there's an idea." "Hasumi, since it's from your school, you know its weakness?" I ask. "Yes, it has a weak spot on the front." Did I just make him sound like... "Hasumi, since it's from your school, you know its weakness?" I ask. "Yes, it has a weak spot on the front, albeit a small one," she explains. "Think you can use one of the strong shots you mentioned on it?" That's not him, that's her. "Think you can use one of the strong shots you mentioned on it?" I ask, hopeful. "Of course," she says confidently. "Yuka," I shout. "Make it face this way." She looks confused, but quickly does so. As the tank swivels toward us, Hasumi lines up her shot. Boom! Hasumi's rifle fires a shot that explodes from the barrel, flying at the tank. Suddenly, it is hit with a powerful impact, knocking it back. Parts of it explode as the treasure slip off. All goes quiet. I can only stare in awe at the sheer power behind the shot of hers. I can't help myself to say the only thing that comes to mind here. Holy fuck, that's strong. I'm edgy. I'm a swimmer. Look at these biceps. Ooh. Long story short, Sensei's pretty damn strong with his hands. Ooh. What kind of fights has he been in? Who knows? Reaving my love for Wakamo. Look, this fic was written 1.5 years ago. Whatever. A little cringe, fine. Yes, writing experience isn't really related to how long a IP has been out, but he sounds like his writing does sound like this is maybe one of his earlier fanfics. if not his only fanfic. Oh. See, now you know why. Well, this one's easily the longest one, yeah. But apart from that too, it's just it does read like a fanfic of someone who, one, reads harem, and two, hasn't really written for long. The longer you write, unless you like really get into that realm of writing, the longer you write, I feel like the more polished. Wow, no shit, dude. The longer you write, the more polished it's gonna sound. Just feel it's gonna feel more polished. Just even if you don't really make any big steps to improve the mechanicals of your craft, just writing for longer, it will improve the feel of your writing internally. This one does read like, it's a rehash of the prologue, so it's hard to tell how well this person can write something else. Because if it's just a rehashing of the original story but the sensei is different, it's hard to really make a strong opinion on it, because it's really just like cut out the other sensei, paste in this guy. The story's not gonna be that much different, clearly. It's literally the same story so far, just with a different protagonist, and all the girls like him as much as the original sensei, to be honest. But yeah. Chapter 3, the Shittim Chest. Finally, Yuka exclaims in relief as we all stand in front of the Schale building. Indeed, Asumi says with a nod. You can find a job on Indeed. We successfully reclaimed the Schale clubroom, Rin says through the comms. I'll be arriving shortly. Let's meet in the basement of the building, sensei. I'll be waiting, Rin, I say. I turn around and look up. I turn around and look up. Damn, this place is taller up close. I turn back to the girls. You four stay here. Keep a lookout. Will do, Suzumi says. Be careful, sensei, Chinatsu says. I nod and enter the building. I walk through the darkened building, descending down the basement. Guess they cut the power. Entering the basement, I see it set up like kind of a lounge, complete with a sofa, tables, and shelves. In the back of the room is a rock floating above a pedestal of sorts. The hell? I also notice someone familiar staring at it. Wakamo. I don't see what the big deal is about this place, she complains to herself. What am I even supposed to destroy? Guess she likes blowing stuff up? Certainly not the weirdest hobby I've seen. Oh? She says, turning her head toward me. Come here. What? Come here often, Kitsune? I say, rhetorically, a smile on my face. She tries to say something, but cuts herself off. Well, I can't blame ya. This place is pretty cool, from what I've seen thus far. I continue. I stare at her questioningly. But she remains silent. Well, she stammers out behind her mask. What's with her? Okay, now I'm getting worried. You okay? Still upset about the door punch? I awkwardly ask, jokingly. No, well, she stammers again before shouting. I was just leaving! And sprinting away. I stare at the door she ran through, confused as all hell. What was that all about? I ask myself. Did the axe kick in today? A few minutes later, Rin walks in. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm here now, she says, causing me to jump a bit. Did I miss something? Nothing much, I shrug. If you insist. Well, here's what the GSC president left behind. She reaches into her pocket and pulls out a tablet. Thankfully, there isn't a scratch on it. She walks to me. Please, take it. Slowly, I grab the tablet, confused as I inspect it. The prize left me a tablet? Yes, this is what she left behind for you. The Shittim Chest. Shittim, the wood used for the Ark of the Covenant. Why am I still continuing her voice? Shittim, the wood used for the Ark of the Covenant? And that name sounds familiar. Why? It may seem like a normal tablet, but its origins are a complete mystery. Its manufacturer, OS, system structure, and components are completely unknown. Dark-haired explains. The General Student Council president left the Shittim Chest to you. She says that you'll be able to take control of the tower with it. None of the other members know how to activate it. Perhaps you may be able to figure it out, Sensei, but if not, we both remain quiet for a few moments. My job here is done, Rin says. I shall let you take the lead. I'll step away so not interfere, she says as she begins to walk away. I look down at the tablet and press the button on it. It lights up. Please enter the system password. Password? I have no idea, so let's... We thirst for the 7 whalings. We bear the Koan of Jericho. As I move to enter our password, my fingers move on their own and enter these 2 lines. How? When? I blinked and they were typed in. 7 whalings? Jericho? Mark of the Covenant references. Welcome to the Shittim Chest, Joshua-sensei. Converting to operating system Arona for biological authentication and generation of verification certificate. The chest lights up and blinds my vision. After it dies down, I find myself somewhere new, a strange classroom. The floor has water on it and the wall is broken. The floor has water on it and the wall is broken, allowing a view out toward the endless blue sea and sky. Hearing a soft noise, I notice the only occupant in the room, a small girl sleeping on a desk. She has pale blue hair with pink highlights, held with a white tie, resembling rabbit ears. She wears a blue sailor uniform with a white collar and skirt. On her feet are white shoes. Above her head is a circular blue halo. There also is an umbrella next to her feet. No, it's a rifle in the shape of an umbrella. Wasn't something like that used to kill a guy in Bulgaria back in the 70s? I don't mind the trivia. I like this. I like this aspect. I know I was calling bullshit or how he knew random like Greek and Bible references, but this is I kind of appreciate that, even if it's not true. She snores, her head resting on a desk. This is odd. She mutters something about banana milk in her sleep. I walk to her. Wait, how did... So... Oh, I see. So right now... Okay. We're he's like in the classroom, like the end of episode 1 of the anime. You know, the 10 out of 10 anime. I walk up to her. How can I wake her up? I swear, this is some kind of magic stuff, so... I poke her cheek. It's soft and squishy. Huh? She says. Her blue eyes open slowly. Huh? She shouts as she jumps to her feet. She lets out a cute yawn. Damn, he's rizzing up the OS too? Jeez, man. This guy never stops hustling. She lets out a cute yawn. What's going on? She still looks half asleep. Huh? For the 3rd time. Her eyes widen in realization. Flustered with a blushing face, she stutters. Huh? For the 4th time. What? You okay? I ask concerned. Did she break? Sensei? She shouts. I notice her halo, spikes in it, no longer perfectly circular. If you're here, does that mean you're Joshua-sensei? That's me. What? I'm right? What time is it? She begins to freak out. Calm down, gather your thoughts, I say. Okay. I'm calm, she says. Her halo has become circular again, but is now dripping and is a dark blue. Her halo returns to normal, she clears her throat. Oh, that's right. I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Arona, she says cheerfully. I'm the system manager that lives inside the Shittim Chest, serving as its main OS. Think of me as your trusty secretary, Sensei. Her halo then turns into a red heart. I'm so glad to finally meet you. I've been waiting for a long time. It must have been a while if it caused you to pass out, I point out. Yeah, well, I guess I might have dozed off there. Her halo turns spiky again. Well, it's nice to meet ya, Rona, I say, flashing a grin. Yeah, I'm happy to hear that, the little OS says, her halo becoming a heart again before it turns back to normal. My physical form is still small, and my voice could use a serious upgrade, but I know I can still prove to be useful to you, she says with a smile. Still, I'm surprised that you can enter this place. This place? I ask. This is inside the Shittim Chest, Arona explains, causing my eyes to widen. Your real self should be in the same position when you were in... Your real self should be in the same position you were in when you came in here. So this is some kind of metaverse? I asked, chuckling. Eat your heart out, suck. Shut the fuck up. Arona clearly doesn't get the joke, but giggles cutely nonetheless. Oh yeah, let's complete your biological authentication. Okay, I ask, hesitant. How do we do that? This is a little embarrassing, she shuffles awkwardly, but it's all part of the protocol. Would you mind standing a little closer? I move closer to her and kneel down, as she holds out a single finger. Okay, now place your fingertip against mine. I say. Smiling, I raise my hand and press my fingertip to hers, causing her to giggle. It's kind of like making It's kind of like making a promise or something, isn't it? I chuckle too, I suppose, though it kind of reminds me of an old movie back home. E.T. is a classic after all. I appreciate the pop culture reference stuff. I think it's a nice touch, even though it's been done a lot of times. It's still nice to see. With a deadpan expression, she says, "This is just how I'm supposed to verify your fingerprint. I'm the one who has to scan every fingerprint that is left on the screen." She then smiles. "But don't worry, I've got eyes like a hawk, you know." "And done," she says, as we move our arms away. "Let's see." She begins to focus on something else while staring at me. "All done," she says, smiling. "You sure you did it right?" I ask, curious. It took about 10 seconds to finish. "What? I did it the way I'm supposed to," she shouts, upset, her halo spiky now. "Aren't those fingerprint readers supposed to be instant?" I ask. "I've had to use them in the past, but they're usually really quick." Huh? But I don't have that sort of high-tech feature," she says, a bit sad, before shaking her head. "I mean, I don't need those kinds of features. My eyes will do the trick just fine." Okay, I'm sorry," I say, as she crosses her arms and pouts. Her halo turns into a mess of red and orange triangles, barely even a coherent shape. I sigh. "Fine, just let me catch you up to speed. I figure I should explain all that's been going on." "Got it. All that's been going on, hasn't it?" Arona asks as I finish my explanation. "The General Student Council president went missing, and there's no way to control the Kiboto's tower now." "Yeah, it's been pretty crazy out there," I say, a bit jokingly. "Say, you know anything about the Prez?" "I have lots of data on Kibotos, but I know very little about the president. I don't know who she is or why she disappeared, unfortunately," the cute AI girl says, apologetic. "Well, that's a shame. I wish I could be more helpful," Arona says, despondent. "No, it's fine. I'm sure you're useful in other situations. You said you were going to be my secretary, right?" I ask, hoping to cheer her up. "Yeah, I'll show you how useful I can be, Sensei," she says, happily. "Good. I hate to see this girl sad." I think I can help with the Shittim Tower problem, at least," she says, as her halo turns lime green and has bits of it pointing towards up here or there. "Oh?" I raise an eyebrow. Yep, just let me restore the access permissions to Shittim Tower. Just give me a minute," she says before pausing. "Though, you need to go back out for me to do this." "How do I do that?" I ask. "And just think about leaving," Arona says. I think about it. How's that? My vision blurs, and I find myself back in the dark basement of the Schale, tablet in hand with Arona on screen. "Okay, here I go," she says. Looking away from Arona's classroom on screen, I hear whirring around me in the dark basement, the only source of light being the small tablet in my hands. A moment passes and the lights click back on, my eyes taking a moment to adjust to the sudden increase of light. "Shittim Tower admin permissions acquired," the small OS girl says. "We've successfully regained Shittim Tower, Sensei. The tower is now under your control." That quick. Nice. The fact she can do all of that from that little tablet is pretty damn impressive. "That means all of Kivotos is in the palm of your hand, Sensei," she points out. I suddenly feel uneasy as she says that. Having that much power reminds me of... Perhaps sensing my inner turmoil, Arona says, "I can transfer control of Shittim Tower to the GSC with your approval, Sensei." "Do it," I say, immediately. "Are you sure that's what you want to do? You would be giving total control to the General Student Council," she says, tilting her head. "Yeah, I ain't fit to handle that much power. I doubt I'd like anyone who could." Brings back memories of that bastard. I clench my fist as an idea pops up. "But we have a back door that can only be accessed by you and me, just to be safe." Arona and I stare at each other's eyes, serious as can be. "Alright then, control of Shittim Tower will now be transferred to the GSC, Arona says. "Good, understood," Rin's voice says inside the room. She then walks in. "Control of Shittim Tower is just confirmed. This will allow us to manage the city as well as we could before the president's disappearance." "Good to hear," I say. "Well done, Sensei. I want to thank you on behalf of the entire GSC for preventing Kivotos from falling into other chaos," the black-haired girl says. "It was Arona who did all the work. You should be thanking her," I shrug. "Arona?" she asks. "Arona?" she asks. "He means me, Miss Rin," Arona says, drawing Rin's attention to the tablet. "I'm Arona, the Shittim Chest OS. Nice to meet you." That's a different detail. Rin knows who Arona is. I wonder if the other students are going to know who Arona is. I like that slight deviation from the main story. Rin looks at Arona with wide eyes before relaxing them. "I see. It's nice to meet you as well, Miss Arona." The elf girl turns back to me. "Also, you needn't worry about the suspended students and thugs that attacked us before. They will be tracked down and punished before long. My duty was only to see that you received and activated the Shittim Chest, so my job here is done." She trails off before her eyes widen, likely remembering something. "But there is one more thing we should do for good measure. Could you follow me? I'd like to properly introduce you to the Federal Investigation Club, Schale." "Lead the way then," I say, grabbing the tablet, Arona disappearing from the screen. We walk upstairs before reaching a door with the Schale logo on it. "This is Schale's main lobby," Rin explains. "It's been empty for a long time, but now it finally has an owner." She opens the door and I finally see my new office. It's a large room, filled with shelves and light all around, covered in various documents. In the center of the room are two big desks, computer monitors on each side. The most noteworthy thing about the room is that one of the walls is comprised entirely of windows, allowing us to see the bright blue sky. And you could consider this to be the Schale Club room, the elf girl says. This is where you'll be working starting now. So, what should I do now? I mean, what's the point of this club? I asked, sitting down on a chair. Schale may have authority, but has no particular goals at the moment. We're in lectures. But even though you don't have a specific job to do, you can freely enter any of the academy districts. From there, you can register any of the students you find as club members, among other things. Fascinating, isn't it? It may be called an investigation club, but the president never specified what it would be investigating or what its purpose is. That gives me a lot to think about. This whole thing's just one big damn mystery. In that sense, you have quite a lot of freedom, don't you? She sighs. As much as I wish you could ask the president for further details, the fact of the matter is she remains missing. We're using everything at our disposal to look for her, but that leaves us short-handed at dealing with the other problems around the Kivodos. The GST is being flooded with civil complaints as we speak. Requests for support materials, environmental aid, makeup work for failing students, requesting state clubs, and so on. And that's where Schale comes in, I guess. Indeed, perhaps Schale can be the one to look into these requests. Since it looks like you have plenty of time now, I put all the documents on your desk. Please review them when you have the time. The black-haired girl concludes. We'll be counting on you. I nod, and I look over to my desk and see a big stack of papers. Kivodos really must have been in trouble with the press disappearing and all. Damn it, I'm going to be busy for weeks with this. And the best of luck with your new position, Sensei. Let me know if you need anything, she says, preparing to leave. Will do. Thanks, Rin. As she leaves, I look around the room. Come to think of it, those four might be still hanging around outside. I'd better go send them off. As I walk out of the front door of the Schale building, I see the four girls still standing around, talking to one another. Yo, I call out. Sensei, Yuka says, as she and the other three approach me. Figured y'all be hanging around, I say, smiling. Everything ended well, huh? That's correct, Sensei, Yuka says. I've confirmed the GSC has regained control of Center Tower. Wakamo fled to the student district, but I'm sure she'll be found and arrested soon, Asumi points out. I'll leave the rest to the person in charge. Yuka smiles. Not too shabby, Sensei. Everyone in Kivodos will be talking about you now. Bet it's all over social media already. Great, I drawl out. Internet clout, just what I needed, I joke. The girls chuckle. We'll have to say goodbye for now, but I hope you visit We'll have to say goodbye for now, but I hope you'll We'll have to say goodbye for now, but I hope you'll visit us at Trinity General School soon, Hatsumi says. Agreed, Suzumi says. Of course, I'm in a new place. I'd love to visit all of Kivodos. Though, judging by my new job, I'll be doing just that, I say. I'll be reporting here what happened to our head prefect, Junatsu says. I'll be reporting what happened here to our head prefect, Junatsu says. You're welcome to stop by and visit it if your work ever takes you to Gehenna Academy. I smile and nod at her. Will do. I'm sure we'll see each other again when you come to Millennium Science School, Yuka says. Every school I know about so far has mythological connections. What about Millennium? Since it's science, would it be atheism? I hope to any and every god out there that isn't Scientology. Bye, Sensei. As the four girls begin to leave, I stop them. Wait. They turn and look at me. How would you four like to join Schale? Oh no, this won't do, I speak to myself, thinking about that, Sensei. Oh, Wakamo. Oh no, this won't do, I speak to myself, thinking about that, Sensei. I wasn't expecting to run into him in that building's basement. There's something about him that fills me with a not feeling. I can't help but touch myself. I'm sure I'll meet that handsome Sensei again. After the four girls left, surprisingly having agreed to join Schale, I returned to my office. Arona used one of the monitors on the wall to talk to me. Things got a little hectic, but I think everything is okay now, the tiny West girl says. Thank you for your help. Like I said to Rin, you did most of the work, Arona. Thanks, but this is the only beginning, she says. You'll have to help solve all the problems the students of Kivodos are going through. Right, it's strange to have a job like this, but oh well, I shrug. Even though it may seem simple, this is a really important task, she says, seriously. Kivodos will be counting on you and Schale, Sensei. Oh, I know, I say. Well, I guess I'll first up this paperwork. Oh, I know, I say. Well, I guess first up's this paperwork, I say, a bit despondent. I'm not looking forward to this. Right, then let's start your first official mission for the Federal Investigation Club, Schale. Are you gonna edit this? Just gonna trim out the parts that shouldn't be in the video. Alright then, I say, cracking my knuckles. Let's get to work. This is certainly a strange new world. One filled with gun-wielding angels, but I'm not too worried. I'm in a whole new world now, one where I don't have to worry about that bastard or his goons. Yeah, I think I'm gonna like it here. I've got a whole blue new world to explore after all. Okay. I don't know why I tried to put chapter 3. I am on chapter 4. How is Concrete Garden right now? Hasn't been updated. Okay, so the thing is with this story, right? Right now, we've really just gone through. Have you seen A Father's Love? I know it exists. I haven't read it. I don't want to read another large fanfic right now. Since I use these fics to make videos on my story channel, Kudako. I don't really want to expend all my energy because if you've noticed, towards the end of the 3rd chapter, I started tripping over my words a lot. And that's because I didn't drink water, but my speaking stamina is also not that high. Not if you've read, like, what was that, 10,000 words maybe? No, maybe it was like less. Maybe it was like 7 or 6, but yeah. I'll read that eventually. Yeah. So far this fic is fine. It's just a prologue again. So there's not too much I can say about it. If you code read with someone, yeah. So far, it's just a prologue, but with a whole country boy, Riz master, Riz Lord Sensei, who's just too cool, and this isn't to be demeaning towards these kinds of protagonists, but these protagonists are the reason why I've suddenly become interested in writing bum protagonists who don't protagonists who you want to feel sorry for. But yeah, other than that, we'll continue reading that later, and for now, let's move on to something else. Okay, I stopped the recording. Oof, 90 minutes! That I'm gonna have to trim down to like maybe 30? Bully fix? Dude, it's like this work unseen before you. Don't you love looking at the protagonist and seeing how she's just so useless? I mean, this fic is about Sensei and Hina. We're a university student introducing new technologies to Terra. I mean, I like stories that expand on what we already know. The only change that I can really point out that's semi-significant is that Rin knows about Arona. That is not present in original. On the other hand, everything else is just a prologue again. And if that's how the rest of the story is going to go, Blue Archive, but harem element is stronger, you know? An intellectual take on the advantageous protagonist. There's nothing wrong with the strong protagonist. It's just, when it comes to amateur fiction, fan fiction, written by, frankly, someone who doesn't seem to be well versed with writing large fan fictions like this. Because you know, normally when a fan fiction is like really, really long, like in the midway through the 6 digits, it's not revamp. It's not Loud House revamp level. Nothing is really like Loud House revamp level, but just in general, it's just dubious quality. Actually, that might be a bad adjective, but dubious quality. And it's a retelling of the main story of dubious quality. So I'm not, frankly, I'm not too excited to see what happens next plot-wise. But if I had to say something I'm interested in, at least I guess I have no choice but to be looking forward to where the whole Riz Master harem sensei is going to go. Aside from that, let me do another recording. Is there anything else we can read today? This one's... I don't know Arena Breakout. Would you say strong protagonists are flawed in general, or they tend not to make for interesting premises? It's not really either. And I'm not really the most qualified to speak on this, but since I'm the one fucking streaming, I'm the one that gets... Oh look, Father's Love was just updated. I'm not really too qualified to be able to, you know. But just in general, who is Zodai? Is he an author? Or are they an author? Because it doesn't look like... I don't know. What was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? Perhaps the overall inexperience. The problem is mostly... Just skip a couple of these. The problem is because the people who are writing such strong protagonists aren't really trying to work around the nuance of how a strong protagonist compared to, like, there's replacing sensei and there's inserting a whole new person. In both cases, it's not really a story about exploring the notion and the, you know, the... what's the word for it? What's the word I usually use? Anyway, it's not really trying to work around the strength of the protagonist and seeing how that influences the story. But it's more like... Source one-dimensional? I guess. In terms of that component of the story, too. What is this? Multi-explicit. What is this? It's only 3,000 words. Anyway. Because I don't mind a strong protagonist if we're exploring how their strengths influence the story in a way that is not just... because this protagonist is strong, the problems are solved easier, and the protagonist looks cool doing it. The kind of story that I think a strong protagonist excels in is one where we have issues. How are the protagonist's strengths going to help us solve the issue, while not just flat out smashing it with their fists? As well as, in spite of their strengths, how will the story exploit whatever flaws they may have and push them to the brink of depression because of what little or what few or many, perhaps, flaws they do have. An issue I foresee with Joshua Sensei, he's not going to have any flaws. Or if he does have any flaws, they're not going to cause any major problems. If the strong protagonist has a selfless motive and actively works to make an impact, perhaps it might turn out different. Sure, but I think one of the main things I worry when I see a story like this is that a protagonist that's already written like this, they are not built up to face any issues that can't either be immediately solved or are immediately, that can't be immediately remedied, or are not already immediately solvable by one of their strengths. Which is what Daniel is saying. That cannot be made up by their man's strength. I feel like if he ends up having an issue, he'll suddenly have another skill that solves it. And that skill might be, I know how to command these students. But that's already one of his strengths. So if one of his flaws is solved by I can command the students to solve it for me, that's not really that good. Silver Age Superman, what are you looking at? This one's 500 words. It's a one-shot, and I kind of want to read this. Because it's so short. So why not, right? This is this person's first work. They have a Nia profile picture. Superman come up with random powers? Yeah. It just, you know. That's just what I fear. I mean, I'm not even, I read trash manga. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoy reading trash. But but when I go out of my way to read fan fiction, I get a little worried. And not for the writer. It's like if you're writing fan fiction, first and foremost, write whatever you enjoy. I don't care if it's dubious quality. If it kind of sucks, whatever. If it really sucks, also whatever. Just you can write more, get better in the future. As long as you're not writing out of spite. Unlike me, I write out of spite all the time. Write something you enjoy first and foremost, and the quality will go up with your passion for writing at some point. The scaling might be a little slow, and that's where learning the mechanics of writing comes into play. But more often than not, the most important factor of learning to write better is to enjoy writing. So as long as these people are enjoying what they write, which seems to be the case, these strange fan fictions that I'm not really enthusiastic about, at least the author seems to enjoy what they write, and that's why at the end of the day it's not really a big deal. Sure, while I'm reading it, I'm thinking like, there's a lot of problems, and it was written 1.5 years ago, and I'm reading this from hindsight, and I have time to think about it. I mean, so does the author, but it's a whole other. I don't proofread my own stuff, so my works probably also have a lot of flaws. I just write more nonchalantly, and I've gotten over my phase of overpowered protagonists. Everyone has that phase. Every male writer, every male otaku / weeb writer has that overpowered pseudo self-insert protagonist phase. It's a guarantee. I have been writing amateur for so long that I've gotten over it. I've gotten over most of the major wrinkles. There's still a lot of problems with my writing. I mentioned a couple hours ago about how I have trouble with character descriptions. I hate describing characters' physical descriptions. I pray that their speech and personality and their actions make up for it. But at the end of the day, you're looking at a bunch of Anon templates when you read my work, and that's something you have to live with if you want to follow my story. So, Harry Potter. Let's read that angst one shot while we're here. He could shoot tiny copies of himself from his fingers at one point. I don't know. I mean, Superman is a superhero, so he is really a Superman. So whatever, people. What other characters did you make other than Yozora and Kuroha? Wasn't a Valkyrie student? Yeah, I was a Valkyrie guard. Her name is Suzume, which is Suzumi with an E. That's the only one for now. There's gonna be a couple others eventually, but I haven't gotten that far, and I don't want to introduce too many new students so early that I'm not even gonna develop for a while. Suzumi I mentioned once, or Suzume I mentioned once, and she hasn't appeared since because I did kind of change the direction the story was gonna go. Obviously, Yozora's been in the story a lot, and Kuroha's been getting more page time. What are we talking about? The implicit urge to insert competence into a story themed around shenanigans. That's called the straight man centered fanfic. Wiki Warrior. I don't know what that is. Father's Love. We'll read that at some point. Full Caps. Oh, it's a Fairguard. It's a Fairguard fic. I read, what was it called? That was kind of a... Sorry, my mouse hasn't been on the screen the whole time. What was that one fic that I read by Fairguard? It was the one with the weird sensei. What's it called? I want to remember what it's called before I click to double check. That's not a gun. There you go. This is the one chapter I read. This is a pretty funny fic. It's so stupid. It's so stupid that it's more or less worth the read if you're into crack fanfiction, crack fanfiction, and the other thing. A song that's ASOIAF. I've never read any of Martin's works, and that includes a Game of Thrones. I don't know why this has Toho and Archaea Wiki, the Toho Wiki, the Blue Archive Wiki, QQ Mail. It's 300,000 words. All hail the new Pandemonium Society chairwoman. This sounds like comedy. It's not. It's drama. Seems a little long though. I kind of don't want to read it right now. Why did I see Netsurare? Schale Sensei has a hobby. I'm gonna leave this translated one alone for now. I'm gonna leave the translated ones alone. I kind of want to avoid the I'm not reading my own fic on stream. Not right now. I don't have that much pride, and I also have too much shame. So both of those react together to create a reality where I will not click on my own fanfiction to read it out on stream. No sensei student pairing here. That's promising. This seems like a pretty well-developed fic. A completely ordinary sensei? Yeah, you have me interested. Wow, ignore that. My fingers were in the wrong spot. I spelled something wrong. No, I'm a fraud. Oh, by Stratoavis. It's the title's a lie. Kana, Konoka, oh yeah, Rio, Wakamo, and Crack-ish. I guess we got to take a break with Konoka. She's the Valkyrie Ichika with the mask, gray hair. A completely ordinary sensei by Fairguard Stratoavis. So this is the person you go to after you read a couple chapters of a long fic and you need to cool off, which is what we're doing right now. Sensei is just an ordinary journalist with a bumbling streak, right? And who is that spandex-wearing guy flying around Kita? Well, you can tell that I just finished reading a fanfic because I can't talk. And who is that spandex-wearing guy flying around Kuvotos and dealing with miscreants? Surely they can't be the same person. This was stupid. Kana knew this was stupid. But the circumstantial evidence gathered was strong enough to warrant suspicion, which was why the sensei of Schale was currently waiting in the interrogation room. The blonde peered through the one-way window, scrutinizing the man. He was tall and broad, with a strong jaw, but his posture was too skittish, his suit too big, and the way his light thumped against the floor reminded Kana of a startled bunny. There was no way those delinquents spoke the truth, but on the other hand, if they were trying to mislead her, they would have come up with something much more convincing than a brightly colored spandex-clad brick of a man who stood there patiently as they unloaded their entire clips into him with no effect. The locals of Kivota's were bullet resistant. The locals of Kubotas were bullet-resistant, not completely bulletproof. Kana knew no student, not even the Titans, the likes of JTF's captain or the tiny head prefect from Gehenna, that could just stand there and take it. Unfortunately, there was a not-zero chance of Sensei being this mysterious superhero for the quaint reason of there being a very small amount of human males in Kubotas, especially if they both share some of their features. In a larger crowd, having two students with the same hair and eye color wasn't that extraordinary. However, if they both happened to have the same birthmark or a certain shape to their horns or wings, then that stopped being a coincidence and became a pattern instead. Well, no reason to prolong this any longer. Kana shuffled into the interrogation room, a tray with 2 cups of coffee in one hand. It was just a questioning, so it stood to be polite, and a stack of files under her other arm. Sensei perked up upon seeing her, though he squinted hard, having just taken off his giant round glasses to clean them on his button-up. Alright, sorry to keep you waiting, Sensei. Kana set the tray down on the rickety table. Is black okay? Thank you, that's fine. Though, I'm not sure why I'm here to begin with, Officer Ogata. The man didn't keep eye contact with her, instead slipping the cup out of the tray with his left hand. Kana took notice of that. The delinquents mentioned the mystery assailant used his right hand more. It's just Kana, it's fine. What? Wait. What does that mean? It's just Kana? Oh, okay. Like how to call her. Okay. It's just Kana, it's fine. She shook her head with a sigh. Anyway, I apologize in advance for having wasted your time. I completely gave up on her voice. I didn't even know what kind of voice I gave her. I don't expect this to really lead to anywhere, but it's the lead we have to explore. I hope you understand. Well, it's alright. Sensei smiled, using the cup to warm his hands. I worked with police before I got here. I understand it's not always as simple as the movies show. Oh, please. If all those cowboy cop dramas actually show the paperwork such mavericks create, that movie genre would go down the drain in days. Kana snorted disdainfully. Cafe Kivotos? I have seen Cafe Kivotos, and that was like, reading the title alone, because I never read it. But Cafe Kivotos is, like, partially one of the things that made me want to write Late Dance at Schale, because I saw the fic title, the fic description, and the premise and the tags, and I was like, that sounds like a good fanfic idea for Blue Archive. Just a collection of what's it called? A collection of fluff one-shots. I don't even know if it's a one-shot collection. It could be a coherent story. And it probably is somewhat, but just the idea itself of like multiple, mostly separate works, chapters of just heartfelt moments in Kivotos, while in the main story we're dealing with 1,000 years of debt, someone almost getting abducted by the money embezzling president, the Eden Treaty, homeless kids. It's like the premise itself sounds very well, and I'm pretty sure, I assume it's a great fic, and I kind of do want to read it as a review series someday. There are a lot of fics here that, while now that I want to do readings for Kodako, there are a lot of the more popular ones I've noticed that, like, it does sound like an interesting one that I want to read. And so hopefully during the summer, in these next 2-3 months, I'll be able to get to that. But anyway, where am I? Anyway, Sensei, are you familiar with the concept of a superhero? Do you mean metaphorically, or no, like an actual guy in costume with powers? Ah, Sensei nodded. Yes, quite a few of them back in Metropolis, and in other cities. You can't really cast a stone without hitting a cape. But, please don't do that. Jolie noted. I'm asking because a couple of Sukeban delinquents who were detained today morning reported a man in a bright red and blue spandex costume that apprehended them and left them for us to find. Kana presented a set of photos for the same situation from different angles. Kana presented a set of photos of the same situation from different angles. 3 hapless delinquents were tied up together with a street lamppost someone bent into a circle and displayed Herculean strength. Sensei adjusted his glasses. Goodness, that's a strong customer that did this. An understatement if I've heard one, Sensei. Kana had a sip of her coffee. Some students could pull it off, I imagine, but delinquents reported a man, a human male specifically, which narrows the pool of suspects considerably. Wait, Sensei blinked. Am I a suspect, Officer Ogata? The girl grimaced, waving her hand so-and-so. You are the only human male I know, Sensei. You also happen to share some features with that superhero. The delinquents identified a handsome man with black hair and a strong jaw. The man actually had the audacity to blush like an embarrassed freshwoman. Oh, jeez, I don't know. I like to think I'm a 6 or a 7, maybe, but only on a good day. Sensei chuckled dismissively. The words were a clear defection, and normally Kana would consider that a reason enough to be suspicious. Yet the man kept peripheral eye contact. This time, he was fairly skittish, with her rather than gazing elsewhere. Point being, while I don't think you're a bulletproof superhero, you do look similar, and the pool of human males in photos is vanishingly small, so it's a non-zero chance. Mind if I ask you a few questions about your day? Oh, that's fine. I spent most of it in Schale. Miss Kosaka can attest to that. You know, I should be more worried that there's the Fox of Calamity just hanging about in your office all willy-nilly. Sensei laughed awkwardly, rubbing the back of his head, but I've heard she's been put on a leash. Oh, I wouldn't put it that suggestively, officer. Miss Kosaka is a troubled young lady, but I've learned not to neglect those struggling. Offer them a bit of help, and sometimes they can turn over a new leaf before you know it. If I may digress, there's this millionaire back home in Gotham City named Bruce Wayne. What are we talking about? Episodic? Yeah, I don't like calling fanfics episodic because it's fanfic. That's why I say one-shot collection instead of episodic. It just sounds more correct to me. But, you know, same thing. Sorry about the noise. I slam my desk. In the room over, Kana's second had just led in the 3 captured delinquents. The Duck's expressions were dejected, heads hanging low and hands cuffed. It was a bit late to be contrite, Kona thought, but these types of petty criminals never thought things through. For now, they had a reverse police lineup to do. Alright, you 3. Eyes up to the window, she instructed, idly stirring the tea in her styrofoam cup. Frickin', don't tell me what to do, one of them mumbled, but they did as told. Huh? What's Sensei doing there? Shit, seriously? The blonde delinquent strove to glare at Konica. The man's a saint. He ain't never done nothing bad. Calm down, Oddshot, Konica smiled. Just look at him real close. You think he looks similar to your mystery man that did you guys in? What? The thin one with ratty eyes stared at Konica as she grew. The thin one with ratty eyes stared at Konica as if she grew a second head. What the hell did you have in that tea? I mean, he is kinda similar, but like, say me, we and Chieko, black hair. Who is... Oh, one of the bucks. That's stupid. This isn't Sensei. He ain't nothing like that stupid dweeb in his stupid magic undies. The blonde flushed. Oh, seems like these undies did something for ya, Konica teased, eyes twinkling with merriment. I butchered all 4 of their voices. I don't know who's who anymore. Go pound sand, pig. Nah, I still don't see it, Chieko muttered. That super guy was, like, wholly different. He didn't feel human, you know? Sensei's got those nerd specs in a slouch, and I can see even from here he stutters. And he's a lefty too, the other brunette added, squinting. You guys really thought Sensei's that spandex guy? No wonder people keep laughing at Valkyrie. And you're lucky Kana-chan didn't hear us from here. Konoko shook her head with a wry smile. Alright, you 3 are positive that's not your man? Don't call him my man, you... Psycho, get a grip. Chieko bumped the blonde delinquent on the shoulder. I mean, I get it, that guy was hot, even if he wore undies over his pants. And that's why trench coat types like the corrector are much better, the other brunette nodded sagely. The hell you say, Asuka? Nobody likes trench coats, they're so damn lame. You just look like a mall ninja. I'd maul my shoe up your ass if you don't take that back. Konica had a sip of her tea, wondering just how a 3-way ball between handcuffed thugs was going to look like. Absent-mindedly, she tapped the glass of the window thrice for a not him signal. What are you guys yapping about in the comments here? Oh, where all hatred begins. Oh, that's not my water bottle. Here we go. Oh, Rio. It's been some weeks now since the Sensei of Schale made his appearance in photos, and with him, a mysterious superhero the locals started simply calling Superman. The big S on his chest was a bit of a tell. Rio had a suspicion the 2 of them were related. One could say that it was as quaint as the very small amount of human males in photos, which made it much more likely that Sensei was actually Superman. But Rio didn't want to immediately assume such to be the case. Outsiders came to the Academy City on occasion, and most of them kept to themselves, visiting for their own inscrutable purposes. Sensei was a bit of an aberration in that regard, and didn't get much more public than being made an advisor to an extrajudicial investigation club started by none other than the missing president of GSC. For now, Hawkins' razor would have to be left alone, tempting it might have been to apply it. While Rio suspected that Schale would eventually intervene against her, the last thing she wanted was to get them to act earlier. Sensibly was a journalist by trade. He might have been a bumbling oaf, but at least some of it must have been an act. He certainly seemed to be more inquisitive and thorough than the messmakers from Konos. A lot of her plans relied on Millennium remaining unaware of them in the first place. Some of his pedigree could expose them before they were fully ready. However, Rio didn't have the intention to leave this be. Identifying Sensei as Superman would be of paramount importance. However, Rio didn't have the intention to leave this be. Identifying Sensei as Superman would be of paramount importance. To that end, she devised a specific tracking apparatus, a supercomputer whose sole purpose was to compile all the appearances of both men, their exploits, their words, any similarities and differences they would. Oh, I can't read this paragraph. However, Rio didn't have the intention to leave this be. Identifying Sensei as Superman would be of paramount importance. To that end, she devised a specific tracking apparatus, a supercomputer whose sole purpose was to compile all the appearances of both men, their exploits, their words, any similarities and differences that would be, then put through another series of computations to sift through actual differences and what might have been an act. To so thoroughly analyze a single person required a very complex program. Luckily, such issues were paltry to someone of Rio's intellect. Thus, the Luther, for short, came to be. That's funny. After running it through a number of pre-tests and warm-ups, it was time to put it to the real challenge. Her intellect and skills as a software engineer and computer manufacturer would be tested as well, for this was the ultimate proof of her own ability. If she could figure this out, nothing else was beyond her reach. This called for a celebration. Rio allowed herself a smile, grabbing a limited edition Peroro-flavored instant noodles cup. What?! Grabbing a limited edition Peroro-flavored instant noodles cup from the cupboard. Luther, are you ready? Luther, are you ready? I was made to be ready. The machine replied with a pleasant baritone. It sounded very self-assured. She couldn't recall where she got the voice module from, but perhaps it was one of the used models that had purposes beforehand. Sourcing all of her machine's components could be troublesome, and sometimes she had to compromise to lower the risk of detection. Good answer. Rio nodded, cracking the noodle cup open and adding the packets for flavoring. Run the final pretest diagnostic. Is the subject FOSS the same as the subject... Run the final pretest diagnostic. Is the subject FOSS the same as person as the subject Hifumi? Dude, I'm... Slow down. Run the final pretest diagnostic. Is the subject FOSS the same person as the subject Hifumi Ajitani? Luther hummed, the machine's plentiful coils and engines whirring to life. The computation didn't take us long. Checking the digital clock, Rio noted it was merely 46 seconds. Analysis complete. Possibility of the two subjects being the same person is 97.8%. The machine announced, sounding surprisingly smug. Still, this was within Rio's own calculations. The rumor mill about Tea Party's leader putting that particular student in a sort of preparation classroom had some ground to it, and said student was also found milling about in the black market shortly before the Stygian bank was robbed. If Hifumi wasn't FOSS, it was due to an extremely narrow lucky shot, but now Rio had a confirmation that she always was. Something used down the line, perhaps? Very well, let's proceed with the main event, Luther. Rio took a moment to steel herself, slurping on the noodles in the meantime. This pearl flavor seemed to have just been chicken. Main diagnostic. Is the subject Clark Kent the same person as the subject Superman? Proceeding with pleasure. Should she be worried that her helper unit sounded like a villain in a cheap spy movie? Well, nothing for it. Its capabilities to overthrow the vast defenses of her sanctum were known, though it could behoove her to double-check if nothing had been compromised. This time, Luther took a minute and a half. The engines worked at a full throttle, drowning the room in an apocalyptic bear that would have a lesser student knocked out. The engines worked at full throttle, drowning the room in an apocalyptic blare that would have a lesser student knocked out. For Rio, used to such things, it was just a crescendo, a melody to signify the impending truth. Soon she would have it in the palm of her hand. Analysis complete. Possibility of the two subjects being the same person is 3.1%. And just like that, her triumph was... Wait, did you say that 3.1... Wait, did you just say 3.1%? Rio blinked, staring at the number on Luther's main screen. Indeed, it is not inconceivable that a bumbling journalist would be the same as a bulletproof being like Superman. Why did this feel like a purely subjective opinion? Rio continued to stare, only coming to when a bit of noodles fell off her chopsticks onto her thighs. With a hiss. Hot. She put the cup away and wiped the offending piece off. Run the diagnostic again. Another minute and a half later, the number remained the same. 3.1% in bright green. 3.1% in bright green, taunting her. But that couldn't be right. Did she input all the necessary data? Was there something she missed that caused Luther to miscalculate? Again. 3.1 for the third time. 3.1% for the third time. If I may ask, why run the same diagnostic 3 times on the same data? Luther queried, sounding strangely annoyed for something she built specifically for this purpose. Because it doesn't make sense, Luther. The evidence we have would suggest a strong probability of the two of them being the same person. A strong possibility does not sound like conclusive evidence. As a reminder, you built it specifically for the purpose of confirming whether Clark Kent is Superman, which I have now decisively dismissed. Rio's eyes narrowed. Perhaps next time she was going to take a risk and source something better than the black market hand-me-downs. Your reasoning? That, unfortunately, I have not been built for. Please consider adding the necessary function later. What Rio was going to do later was take that stupid smug computer apart and make a toaster out of it. For heaven's sake, it didn't make sense. If it was at least 50%, then it would be within the calculations, but this low? Did she make a mistake somewhere along the way? Were these parts so faulty that no matter what she built, it was doomed to be an inferior machine? That'll be all for now, Luther. Power down. She watched the supercomputer turn off before turning her attention back to her now cold noodles. I'll get to the bottom of you yet, Clark Kent. At the Schale office, Nessa sneezed. Are you okay, darling? Wakamo queried as she looked from over her paperwork, fox ears pinning together in a worry. I sure hope you didn't get sick running around the desert at night helping those Abydos ingrates. Oh no, I don't think it's that. Perhaps I'm just thinking of me, Sensei raised a finger in warning. So please don't use that as an excuse to cause mischief, alright? Yes, darling. Does Wakamo remind him of Lois? Is that what we're going for here? Alright. Let's read something else. Dude, I made so many mistakes reading that. I don't know if I want to upload that fic. I might end up scrapping that video. But no, the more content the better. The more content the better. Who cares if you know, slight reading mistakes? I could just cut out the ones that I fixed. Easy. Easy peasy. What are you talking about? There's too much rhythm game music in my Boo archive mix. Okay, that's good. Would usually be cracked at Sound Vortex? Yeah, because it's very minimal hand movement. The hand movement is very similar to fighting game console. She would probably suck at a game like DDR, Pump It Up, etc. Maybe even something like My, because you have to move your hands a lot for that one. Sound Vortex is one of the less movement-intensive rhythm games, apart from speed, because all rhythm games have speed checks. Maybe 2DX. She would probably be good at 2DX as well. Next, I kind of wanted to read this, that would she destroy you? She'd probably be one of the best players. I'm not that good. Where's that Kayoko, where's that Kayoko, Angstfic? Here. A proper rejection. Oh, jeez, this is gonna be a read. This is only 500 words as well. Inspiration. I'm going to open this in a new tab real quick. Page not found. Oh wait, no, I answered it wrong. What is this? Oh, oh no, bro, what is this? What is the context behind this? So this is supposed to be some NTR shit? Not NTR, just cheating. Straight up cheating. Kyoko Storm? I'll look at it later. Time stood still, but he could slowly hear each gnawing tick steal his sanity bit by bit. With a short smile and hand holding his wrist, Kyoko slowly slid off his ring and gently placed it on the gold stair. "You don't have to hold back," she said, a luminescent gaze in her eyes telling everything. "No, don't hold back." Her thigh was warm and plump. It felt pleasant to hold, and his mind wanted to etch the sensation to his memories. Yet that ring which peacefully lay next to her glistened proudly. Ugh, I can't fuck up this fic, dude. Yet that ring which peacefully lay next to her glistened proudly. And once again, he was disgusted. "Stop!" he cried painfully as he pulled back his arm. He couldn't tell since his eyes were closed, but Kyoko must have been taken aback. He hadn't screamed like this since he confronted Beatrice. Except, his scream wasn't aimed at someone using children for their own benefit. This one was aimed at himself. "Please," he allowed an agonizing plea, almost begging. "Stop. Sensei." Sensei opened his eyes. Of course, Kyoko was hurt, and he was the cause of that pain. Before she was allowed to speak, Sensei took her place instead. "I've had enough of these games we're playing." A light breath escaped his mouth as he continued his words. "I know you like me, Kyoko. A lot of students do. And every single time, they ignore the sacredness and my only reminder of her on my finger. And what they don't understand is that I'm their teacher. But not only that, I'm also a married adult. I can't pursue relationships with my students. And students like you should never pursue these relationships with adults twice your age." I can't laugh during that. "But not only that, I'm also a married adult. I can't pursue relationships with my students. And students like you should never pursue relationships with adults twice your age. Sensei, The girl, who was usually so calm and frigid, but held hidden warmth and kindness, tried to withhold an unusual expression, one Sensei thought would never happen. Her face was within seconds of crying. Even so, he continued. "I've turned down many of you. I had to gently remind them that a relationship between a teacher and a student was never going to work. They don't understand the power dynamics and how much I can take advantage of you. Even disregarding their disrespect to my wife, they don't know how fragile and fleeting love is at their age." Sensei looked directly into her red, shaking eyes. "Just because I helped you doesn't mean I love you." Sensei grabbed the ring and placed it back where it belonged. As he was about to leave, he said something he knew he couldn't take back. "You are always grounded and smart. You have a hidden intellect, and always plan ahead in case something goes wrong. Most of all, you are mature and aware of who you are and who I am. You're 18 years old, one step into the world of adulthood. Kyoko, you're the person I expected this from the least." I'm truly disappointed. Her sorrow didn't come in a burst of tears. No screams, not unfiltered rage. Sensei just turns his back on a quiet, sobbing mess and leaves. This is not even called "This is Brimstone Never Cook Again." Bro cooked something so important and foul, no one in the GRS would eat it, not even Azumi Never Rat Again. This is a rejection fic? Well, okay. In terms of, how we normally... Okay, let's compare this to what we just read Joshua Sensei. This is angst, hurt, no comfort, compared to the type of stuff Joshua Sensei gets up to. This is not even called. This is Brimstone Never Cook Again. Oh my god. The same person? Plisto P. Oh yeah, the Nia Nia pic. The Nia Nia pic, huh? Why don't we verify that? Why don't we verify that? Man, you're overhauling a story that frankly wasn't even that large. Oh, here you go. See? The twist is gonna be he rejects every fucking student that tries to advance on him because he ain't a player. He's a grinder. Grind set mindset. Oh, I was supposed to stop the recording. Wow, that took 5 minutes to read. Wow. This is a lengthy fic. That's you know, if you're burned out, take your time. My first fanfic, that too. Loving his wife pilled, yeah. Loyal pilled? Forever to write? I mean, I understand. Sensei kind of gets humbled. Should I attack my story? Sensei gets hella humbled. Is there anything else I wanted to read? You didn't share Shmomo Talk. It's another I hate number translation thing. Ignore bite? I don't quite know what you're referring to. Are these on the... Should I Oh, Kayoko Storm had a tag called Bite. I see. Oh. Okay, I see. Stay away from Repent. What's Repent? Is that here? Blue Archive? Repent? Oh, what's this? Allies with Gematria and Decagrammaton. It's kind of too long to read right now. Why do you guys not want me to read this? What's wrong with it? What's the problem? It sounds like a pretty good premise. That's what I'll say. It sounds like a pretty good premise. Should I put the reading of the Superman Sensei and Kayoko Angst in the same video? Is that worth it? Because one is like 20 minutes and one is like 5 minutes, so it's not really worth, you know, making a whole video for the Kayoko one because it's so short. It's just a one-shot. Maybe I obviously shouldn't make a video about one shot. I can make a video about like 5 one-shots or 3 one-shots. Now that Stay is playable, what are your plans? Puller, but I have like 50 pulls, so it's probably not going to work out. Puller, if I can, I probably won't spend for Pyros this time, like I did for the previous anniversary. And Campari. I also spent for Campari, but we don't talk about that. I'll think about it when she actually is here. Oh, this was Orphan? Why? Emotional hurt, comfort, mild gore. Yeah, not... Oh, drug use. Yeah, that would, Anyway. Oh, that's why fic. We've gone way too far back. Okay, we're 4 days back. Maybe we're done with reading. I mean, I've only been streaming for 2 hours and a half. Should we get to editing? This fucking Fuda on mail fic is always on the front page. When I try to just wholesomely scroll to the front page of Blue Archive, I don't filter out explicit works, because I mean, we read Joshua Sensei, that's explicit work, but then this damn tag hell 309,000 200,000 hit word fanfic. It's just can I block this? Can I block this work from showing up on my page? I don't want to block the author. I don't care about the author, but kind of don't want to. Whoa! Okay, yeah, we're blocking this author. Yeah, why bother blocking this person, bro? It's not gonna change anything. We're almost at 727. With 727, shut up, dude. Who cares? Oh, here we go. Mute. Okay. So now when I click on Blue Archive, it's gone. It's not here anymore. Ah, we win. Look, I don't care if that's written. I just don't want it on my screen. I don't really care what people get up to in fanfiction. I just while I'm scrolling and trying to make a video and trying to read other stuff, I don't want it I don't want it taking up 20% of the page. It's just too many tags. All right. Now you're curious? Huh. All you, Daniel. None of that is my problem. That is all your problem. Editing? My DaVinci is closed because it takes up too much memory. Editing? I did not recommend anything to anyone. No misinformation. Editing, Joshua Sensei reading stage 1 to 3. We'll just focus on editing the Joshua Sensei one. That's the one I'm fully trying to. Chihiro needs to leave. Who should I put? Yuka, because the Joshua Sensei is kind of Yuka centric. Do I have a Yuka thing from my this one? Oh, perfect. I'm going to kill Chihiro. What happened to Miyako? We don't talk about it. Chihiro's dead! She's dead! She's dead! Okay, to be fair, Yuka's kind of large, and I don't mean that in a degrading way. I just mean that her sprite, the way it's drawn, it takes up a lot of space, like so much space. Just drag me, pull it down. Okay. Use your thighs. All right, You guys see? Can you guys see okay? Can you guys see okay? Can you guys see what I'm editing? Canon Yuka. Hey, all I did was scale up the image. I did not widen the image. I did not widen the image. All right, let's tackle this 90-minute VO, which is the first one, right? Joshua Sensei 133. This is what we pay for. Thanks. Thanks for the $2. Thanks for the what can $2 get me these days? It's not even $2 because it's like YouTube taxes me, so it's not even $2. Thanks for the 1 month of Discord. Basic. 20 cents. I'll get like I think 50 or 70% of it. Which yeah, so much. Alright, so we're gonna start this reading of Blue Archive Story of Joshua Sensei. It's loud enough, right? Maybe I'll turn it up a little bit. Didn't I give you nitro? Yeah. So, yeah, but like the money you gave me is fit for another nitro. Alright, so we're gonna start this reading of Blue Archive Story of Joshua Sensei. Yes, we are. That should be good. Alright, so we're gonna start this reading of... Where's the waveform of the audio track? There we go. Okay. Archive Story of Joshua Sensei. That should be good. That should be... Alright. Let's start here. Alright, so... Let's go... Let's see back. And fade in. Alan Walker, fade. Am I right? Am I right, guys? Alright, so we're gonna start this reading of Blue Archive. Wow. Who would have guessed? Anyway, switch the soundtrack. It's not part of the audio. I recorded it separate tracks. Alright, so we're gonna start this reading of Blue Archive. Wow. Who would have guessed? Anyway, see, there's no music. Story of Joshua Sensei. I'm pretty sure this fic's pretty old. What track do you guys want? Should I make my own mix? Because right now I'm using a YouTube curated mix, but I could always use a different one. I could always make my own. Let me listen to this theme. Oh, that's good. That's good. But what is Expo Festa? This one's actually really good too. The recorder one, we are not playing 172 on stream. We can play 171. If it's looped by Blonda, John. We can do 171. Let's go back to the first one. Let me go Seaside. This one's good. Beach Circa theme. I don't want to listen to this for 30 minutes, I'm sorry. Pixel Time. I actually don't like Pixel Time. High Velocity is a good theme. Does it fit for the stream? It's a little slow, to be honest. All things considered, High Velocity is pretty slow. And it's not very active. It's not very enthusiastic, you know? Oh, Action 68 is good. The sport event theme? That was the one that was playing just now, yeah, the race sports event theme. My favorite OST, besides Miracle, which is I think 216, is 198, which is this one. This is one of my favorite themes. Let me just turn up the music for now since we're listening to it. You guys want to listen to Connected Sky, this one? We're not listening to that. I'll play the Action 68 and the 198 last because I use it on stream like all the time. Okay. Let's turn it down and get to editing. Alright, so we're gonna start this reading of Blue Archive. Wow. Who would have guessed? Anyway. Story of Joshua Sensei. Pretty sure this fic's pretty old. It's pretty old. But pretty old. But it's okay. That's also pretty long. That's also pretty long. Old. That's also pretty long. That's okay. That's okay too. It's okay. Okay, a little too loud, a little too loud. Maybe I can just put it to normal for now. It is an explicit fan fiction. But you know what? I'm sure... Fiction. But you know what? You know what? Why did it... Oh. Explicit fan fiction. But you know what? I'm sure it can't be that bad. It can't be that. Just glancing. That bad. Just glancing at some of the other stuff we have here. It's okay. It's okay. It'll be great. Description. A man with a trouble. I gotta bring Izuna for this. Following the events. Why is Chrome lagging? Also, it's taking up so much memory. Hold on. The music's gonna stop for a bit. I have to kill Chrome. It's taking up 6 gigabytes of memory. Because of this video that's currently playing. Whatever. My memory's not even peaking. I don't know what's making everything so slow. But... A man with a trouble. A man with a troubled past ends up It's okay. A man with a troubled past ends up as a teacher. It's okay. A man with a troubled past. A man with a.
I wish it would render properly.
A man with a troubled past. A man with a troubled past ends up as a teacher in Kivonis. Oh well, it's not the toughest. A man with a troubled past ends up as a teacher in Kivonis. Oh well, it's not the toughest thing he's had to do.
It's probably the toughest thing he's had to do.
A retelling of the story with a different sensei. Okay, so. Okay, so we're basically reliving the main story, but Sensei's gonna be a different person. Presumably Sensei. Presumably different Sensei. Presumably stronger than the original Sensei, because that's how fanfiction tends to go. Here we go. Tends to go. Here we go. Here we go. Chapter 1. Welcome to Kifodos, Joshua Sensei. We thirst for this. We thirst for this. 7 whalings. We bear the Koan. Is it Koan, right? We bear the Koan of Jericho. Because I usually, in my head, I say Koan, but I'm pretty sure it's Koan. I'm too lazy to... But I'm pretty sure it's Koan. But I'm pretty sure it's Koan. I'm too lazy to verify it. What kind of voice should we... What kind of voice should we give him? Too lazy to verify. What kind of voice should we give him? I guess I'll just use my normal voice. Well, no, Yuka's gonna be here, and I normally use my normal voice for Yuka. So maybe. So. Voice for Yuka. So maybe a little like. So maybe I'll be a little like. I can't use the music. Sorry, the music is making it so hard to edit. If we want music, I will put in a loop of something in the editor, and listen to it from there, because it lags the music and it lags DaVinci. This isn't working. What do I have? Even with Daisuke? No, it's not a loop though, it's not a loop. The only loop I really have is the camping one. And the Chiaki theme. Midsummer Cat I have a 30-minute loop up for some reason. What's this Chiaki one? Alright, so we're gonna start this reading of Blue Archive. Wow. Who would have guessed? Anyway, story of Joshua Sensei. Maybe. And also the music's gonna pause whenever I pause, so, you know, just to keep that in mind as well. Alright, so we're gonna start this reading of Blue Archive. Wow. Who would have guessed? Anyway, story of Joshua Sensei. Pretty sure this fic's pretty old. It's also pretty long. The fic, it is an explicit fan fiction. But you know what? I'm sure it can't be that bad. Just...
Oh, oops.
It's kind of like making a distorted fade. It had to come
Dude,
to
the
this
audio
for me to
tweaking I might
realize
have to
that you
do
were right.
if all the audio volumes out, it's gonna be painful.
My normal voice for Yuka. So maybe I'll be a little like edgier. I'll be a little edgier. Edgier. Ooh, edgier. Here. 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 It was all my fault. No, it wasn't. My decisions and everything they caused. Don't blame yourself. I can't do this. Oh my god. It's all me. This is all my problem.
Just like he said.
It's all my problem. I see flashes.
That is so edgy. I know, dude. It's just so edgy.
I see flashes.
Am I not? Am I not absolutely cooking?
I see flashes of a silver-haired girl with a pistol. Problem. I see flashes of a silver-haired girl with a pistol. Ooh, Kuroko. No. No. Not at me. No. Ooh, Kuroko. No. Not at me. At a tablet. One riddled with 3 bullet holes. It had to come to this for me to finally realize that you were right all along. Sorry. Sorry, I'm laughing because some of the details are too specific. Like, yes, I'm thinking about the CG of Kuroko. Yeah.
It's always these kinds of fics that I can't hold in my laughter.
Details are too specific. Yes, I'm specific. Yes, I'm thinking of too specific. Yes, I'm thinking about the CG of Kuroko. Too specific. Yes, I'm thinking about the CG of Kuroko pointing the gun to the camera and then chest with 3 holes. Just thinking about the CGs and then pointing the gun to the camera and then the Shittim Chest. Oh, pointing the gun to the camera and the Shittim Chest. Pointing the gun to the camera and oh, pointing the gun to the camera and the Shittim Chest. Oh, of Kuroko pointing the camera and the Shittim Chest with 3 holes. Just thinking about the CGs. Oh, pointing the camera and the Shittim Chest with 3 holes. Just thinking about the CGs and then seeing them retold in a fanfic. It had to come. It had to. to come to this for me to finally realize that you were right all along. My vision blurs as I finally realize my surroundings. Sat in front of me is a girl with long, white hair, clad in an equally white military uniform. She sits in front of a window, the sunset making her hair and uniform have a purple tinge. I can't see her face though. She has a scratch on her cheek. Yet, I can't see her face. She begins to speak again. So forgive me for being... face. I can't see her face though. She has a scratch on her cheek, yet I can't see her face. You repeated the same line twice. I know when I full screen you guys can't see it, but like, look at where my mouse is. I can't see her face though. She has a scratch on her cheek, yet I can't see her face. I knew something felt wrong when I read it the first time. I knew. I was like, wait, did I read this line already? There's something with this. Anyway. On her cheek, yet I can't see her face. And then this is a part where my thing lagged, so I had to like do it again. Oh, am I rendering this at 1080? It's a streaming problem. Because scrolling was so slow. She begins to speak again. She begins to speak again. So forgive me for being so bold, but I must ask for your help. No worries, Prez. You know I always help my students. I don't even think this guy's sensei yet. Damn, this guy's on top of it. Wow. Hey, ups to you. Joshua Sensei, you'll forget these words, but it won't matter. Even without your memories, you'll probably make the same decision in the same situation. Probably, you know as well as I do, I don't change much. Therefore, I believe what matters most are the choices we make, not the experiences we have. There are choices only you can make. My memory travels back, seeing flashes of my students. I can't quite remember their group's names. I can't quite remember their group's names.
Fumble.
I've spoken of responsibility before. I didn't truly understand it then, but now I do. Adulthood, responsibility, obligation, and the choices you make that extend beyond those ideals. I even understand their implications. Well, that's just a sign of growing up. Nothing wrong with that, Prez. Therefore, Sensei, you're the only one I can trust. Only you can free us from this twisted, distorted fate, and find the choices that will lead us to a new reality. So, Sensei, please. I'll do my best. Please. I'll do my best. Say, please. I'll do my day. Please. I'll do my best. I'll do my best. What? I'll do my best. What the fuck? Do my best. What the fuck is wrong with me? Why am I laughing? I'll do my best. Gotta keep it going with this. Yuka, probably? Or is it Rin? Gotta keep it going with this canned sparkling water. Key lime cider. Ain't no flavoring. I'll do my best. So, Sensei, please. I'll do my best. Press. Oh. Oof, gotta keep it going with this. Yuka, probably? Yuka, probably. Yuka. I shouldn't do the the Izuna marks yet because this is so far the editing for the full timeline. So I will be cutting things out later. A man with a not right now, not right now. Yeah, because I'm thinking about the CG of Kuroko pointing the camera and the chest reels. Just thinking about the this is the full trim with no cuts yet. So this is the entire 3 chapters with no cuts to any lines. I will be cutting a lot of lines when I make it a true video. Yuka, probably. Press. Yuka. Press. Yuka, probably. Oh. I have to do the audio management now, or else I'm gonna be cooked when I try to do it later. I don't even think this guy's on top of it. Wow. I don't even think this guy's sensei yet. Damn, this guy's on top of it. Wow. Hey, ups. Quite remember their group's names. I've spoken of responsibility. Yuka, probably. Or is it Rin? Or probably Rin. Is it Rin? Or probably Rin. Or probably Rin. Rin. Or probably Rin. Probably Rin. If I may recommend for later. I've never Rin. If I may recommend for later, go ahead. I've never voiced Rin before. I've never voiced most of this. Say. Or probably Rin. Say. A sharp voice calls out in the darkness. Sense of a sharp voice. Why'd it take me 3 tries to read that line? Say. A sharp voice calls out. Say. A sharp voice. Say. A sharp voice calls out in the darkness. Sensei, wake up. Again with that voice. Who is Joshua Sensei? The voice shouts as my mind finally becomes clear. My eyes shoot open to see a young woman with long black hair, the inside of it being a dark blue. Her bright blue eyes are hidden behind thin glasses. She wears a white military uniform that covers her thin waist and rather large chest. Oh god, it's just... The inside of it being a dark becomes clear. A sharp voice calls out in the darkness. Sensei, wake up. Again. Wake up. Again with that voice. Who is... Joshua Sensei. Joshua Sensei. Joshua Sensei. I need you. If you're gonna be her protagonist, I gotta at least be your first. Rin calls out, pleading with me. Oh, you, Rin. Well, I have no choice. Joshua Sensei. The voice shouts as my mind finally becomes clear. Please. My eyes shoot becomes clear. My becomes clear. My mind finally becomes clear. My eyes shoot open to see a young woman with long black hair, the inside of it being a dark blue. Her bright blue eyes are hidden behind thin glasses. She wears a white military uniform that covers a thin waist and rather large chest. Oh god, it's this type of fanfic. Oh, what am I getting myself into? No! Volume warning. Volume warning. No! 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 Two. No. Two. No. Two. No. 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 Wiki wears a white military. Of course, the agony has to be properly mixed. Can't be too loud, or else I'm gonna jump scare people. No. She wears. Maybe something like Is adding a vine boom here a bad idea? Maybe not. I don't usually over edit my my reading fix like that. I usually leave the sound effects for if I read something incorrectly 10 times. Because I don't think I usually try not to do it for Kudako videos. For my main channel videos, I totally would. So do something like that. No! She wears a white military uniform that covers her thin waist and rather large chest. There's a pistol holster to one of her legs, and she has a ring floating above her head that fits. No! There's a pistol holster to one of her legs, and she has a ring floating above her head that fades from blue to teal and black, and has pointed ears? Is she a cosplayer? I stare at her in confusion. I don't remember her, or being in this office. Last I checked, I don't remember her, or being in... She wears a white military... God, it's this type of fanfic. Oh, what am I getting myself into? No! Office. Or being in this office. Last I checked, I was in bed. Looking down, I noticed that I'm wearing a white suit with a blue tie. The skin colors are eyes, oddly enough. Anyway, gather yourself... I have to check every single snippet in case I make a mistake, which is the main problem with this. Last I checked, I was in bed. Looking down, I noticed that I'm wearing a white suit with a blue tie. The skin colors are eyes, oddly enough. You fell asleep after asking to wake you. Are you gonna have some trouble waking you up? I'm expecting you to be so sound asleep. That's odd, I say, somewhat to myself. I usually am a pretty light sleeper. Always keep one eye open. This guy's got himself up this. That's odd, I say, somewhat to myself. I am a pretty light sound asleep. That's odd. These gaps, I kind of want to get rid of them. It just doesn't make it sound nice. Expect you to be so sound asleep. That's odd, I say, somewhat to myself. I usually am a pretty light sleeper, always keeping one eye open. This guy's gassed himself up. You must have been having a dream. I thought I said bad dream. You must have been having a dream. Anyway, gather yourself and focus. At least he uses anyway and not anyways. It's one of my... I'm gonna just see now. I'm just gonna remove that. You know, kudos. Anyway, wrong voice. Anyway, gather yourself. Nope, that's Joshua. Yourself and focus. Anyway, gather yourself. You must have been having a dream. You must have been having a dream. Anyway, gather yourself and focus. I will explain the current situation again. I nod, simply, motioning for her to continue. My name is Nanakami Rim. I think it's Nanakami, but... for her to continue. My name is Nanakami Rim. I think it's not... I'm a general student. And also getting rid of the stuff where I'm discussing things with you guys, but not really something I care to put in the video. My name is Nanakami Rim, and I'm a general student council officer from Kivodos, the Academy City. Academy City? There's nothing like that on Earth. And Kivodos. There's a village in Greece with that name. Plus the word also translates to arc. And you're a teacher that we have summoned. Translates to arc. And you're a teacher that we have summoned here. Or so it would seem, she continues. Summoned. I mean, lost a... Summoned. Summoned. I mean... Summoned. I mean, last I checked, Kivodas was a place in Greece and didn't have any such fancy places. I gestured to the room around us. Well, I don't... Well, pardon. Well, pardon my uncertainty, but I only say that because I still don't fully understand how you got here. She takes an apologetic here. She takes an apologetic tone. I see. I see. I see. I understand this. No. Apologetic tone. I see. I understand this may be... No. Is that a... Dude, I can't keep consistency. I understand that. She takes it. She takes an apologetic tone. I see. I understand this must be very confusing.
Guys, can we leave the editing stream for tomorrow? I'm really not in the mood to edit right now. I actually kind of wanted to write tonight a little bit. I'm really still not too sure what I want to write. I need to take a shower, so if you guys want to stick around, what I would like for you guys to do is stick around. No shit. And then I need to yeah, once I shower, then I can set up the writing stream. Let me just let me make that stream first so I can. Okay. So I'm setting this stream so that when I end this one, it should move you to the other one. So just hang on tight. Just in case it doesn't, I'm going to send a link to the other stream. Just in case it doesn't. It should, though. You shouldn't have to move to the new one. But just in case it doesn't, just follow that link. Give me a moment. I will be back very shortly.